These are tales of danger and the pursuit of endless riches. Adventurers and heroes from all parts of the world charging into the unknown, setting steel and magic against the most impossible foes, with each time wondering if this would be the last. Storms gather on the horizon, and evil rises from the waters of despair. These are tales of endless adventure. These are the Awakened Fables.
Welcome back everyone to Awakened Fables. I am Dungeon Master Sam, and with me today we have my party of Addison, Luke E, Luke F, Michael, Rob, and the other Sam of the group. So, as of last session, we have kicked off the campaign with everybody being invited into the city of Thogcha for a immense war game to handle a ritual threatening between the two provinces of Coldstreak and Solvkling of Vaaderlund. Our intrepid party members took it upon themselves to do some preliminary investigation of the city of Thogcha and discovered a small warehouse where they figured that they will be able to begin bolstering the defenses of their fellow warriors, and from there they should be able to use it as a basic headquarters as well as a protective area for Prince Mikkel as well as the other children who are here protecting the relic of Coldstreak. Now, gentlemen, as of last time, you guys had just finished clearing out the warehouse, so I'm going to fast forward us a few hours with you guys presumably having told everybody else upon their arrival in the city about the warehouse and pretty much leading them through to it. Do you guys have any events or actions that you would like to be doing in those few hours, or you're all good to jump ahead?
Short rest. Short rest.
All right,
long rest.
we have a request for one short rest. All right, I'm fair. I can be lenient, and I think I can grant you guys a short rest.
I'd send my owl hoot out to do a bit of recon of the area.
Sure thing. All right. So, I will get back to what the recon eventually provides to you. So, with the warehouse having been secured, you guys, along with the other warriors of Clan Solvkling, are able to bring the children and Mika within its protective walls. And from there, the rest of the warriors, at least those who are suitably able, begin to work on constructing and reinforcing the various structures of the warehouse itself to ensure that it's not liable to just fall over in a strong gust of wind. However, they are also going through and trying to ensure that the outer facade remains in place. So there is one mage who appears to be casting illusions to ensure that the warehouse appears as desecrated as normal, while everybody else is just working on reinforcing the interior.
I'd like to use my stealth to help them with that.
Alrighty.
I don't know. Was that you too, Rithgar?
No, sorry, that was me doing my prescience or whatever my 2d20s that I can use.
Alright. So, Rob, you're looking to try and help hide the warehouse, is that right?
Yeah.
Alright, so you have an outcome of 25. So for this one, it means that you're going to be dramatically successful. Flavor it up for me. What do you do?
I break up other buildings. Or actually, I direct other people to break up other buildings and place broken material around the warehouse to make it look as if it's been abandoned for a longer time.
Yep, excellent.
Trying to create a path, like a winding path to get in.
So it doesn't take long before everybody else begins to defer to Tinkrit in terms of stealthy behaviors, particularly as you begin to direct everybody around you in how to leave the warehouse and how to re-enter it with as much stealth as is particularly possible. You outright recommend to everyone to just take a break as the sun hits the pinnacle at midday, but beyond that you begin to help and redirect everyone along a few more safe routes, which are a little bit easier to guard and keep track of around here. So it isn't long before you pretty much make this entire warehouse look even worse than it was before, to the point where if anybody outsider were unaware of exactly what the interior currently was, they'd probably say this entire place needs to be condemned.
I also ask if there's anybody who has skill with traps.
Anybody among the party?
Me.
Rithgar, why don't you try and set some traps for the unwary?
Would that be a survival roll?
I will take a survival roll for that one. A 15. Wow, you guys have a lot of very intense modifiers. Alright, so Michael, the city of Thogja is an ancient one, stretching back over about 1,000 years. So that's over 1,000 years of weathering, constant construction and deconstruction on behalf of these war games, as well as just the general lack of maintenance which hits the city. So the city itself also has a fairly extensive amount of catacombs beneath it, as you have been advised by your comrades around you. What are some of the traps that you set up around the warehouse?
I think it's things with stakes. I think clamping jaws, stakes. So something that will, as people step into it, they'll have their legs pierced.
All right, so bear trap-esque things.
Yeah, bear trap. Sorry, thank you.
Classic pit traps.
No, it's all good. Okay, so just bear traps or anything else?
Bells. Or things that, bells that will tinkle and sound the alarm if they're tripped.
Okay, so
Like
some alarm and
like
some offensive traps then.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Does anybody else want to contribute to the defenses of the warehouse?
I mean, I was just going to send my owl out to scout for like points of interest, like where we can watch over people coming and going in the area, or like weaknesses in the outer perimeter.
Yep, that's all good. All right. So the surveillance. Oh, sorry. Roll me a perception or investigation on behalf of your owl. A 15. All right. So the things that you're able to see through the eyes of your owl is that the royal keep only seems accessible through one route, which will take you through the main a rampart, which goes through the main area of the city. So there is very little way for you guys to actually get up to the royal keep without either going up the main road or pretty much going through and scaling the wall directly below the royal keep as well. So the keep is incredibly well defended, at least from this particular area. Hoot is also able to report that there does seem to be very little activity which is taking place in the keep itself, as it looks like a good majority of people, those guards who are currently still at their post, look to be incredibly ill. Aside from that, there is no other movement within the city.
No worries.
Interesting.
Well done, Trimp.
So I'm assuming, would you like to pass on all that information to your comrades, or just a few pieces?
I mean, I'll definitely pass on all of it. Just tell the guys that I think there's only one way in for the majority of the main party if we do go that route to the keep, and that it appears that some of the guards have been taken ill.
Excellent.
Tinkret begins chuckling evilly wherever he is.
I was going to send Trimp to go and do it again.
We just stay here for 5 sessions.
Don't know if they would have. Yeah, that's right. Stay here and just poison them.
So how did you guys win this year? Oh, we gave everybody typhoid.
STIs.
This campaign's version of the Exploding Spell books, the Exploding library books.
Y'all are nasty. Alright, so with the various activities which are going on around you, you can, those of you who are not really quite as hands-on with the construction or not able to offer much, those of you who aren't able to offer much will be able to see that the Prince Meikle seems to be intent on setting the children down, keeping them settled and somewhat entertained, and largely keep them from getting underfoot. This lasts for maybe about an hour before the prince himself seems to tire of this particular thing and tries to involve himself in the various projects around the warehouse, leaving the supervision of the children to his bard. Now, the prince, for all his enthusiasm, is very much definitely getting underfoot for many of the construction people around, and if anything, his presence is currently setting the progress back.
Shall I try and convince him to calm
Keep
the
him
fuck down?
entertained, tinker it. Distract him.
I think I'll just try and tell him that he should go and work on some battle plans.
Rob, just remember that Tinkerit's currently handling the stealth side of things.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought we'd finish that bit, but okay.
I figure it's probably going to be an ongoing progress throughout the day. So,
All right.
yeah. So Rithgar, Solturum, Norloth, and Will, you guys may do something here if you're so inclined.
Right, I'll probably get involved. Look, mate, I appreciate if you go and fuck off and do something else. You're kind of interrupting business here. You're not at all helping. I think you should maybe just, look, take a seat, put your feet up and don't ruin what we've got going here, all right?
All right. So the prince looks at you, a hint of fury in his eyes at being spoken to quite so blatantly. He gives a bit of a snide sniff and he pulls up a nearby chair and simply sits by you before he perches his feet on the wall, just staring at you in mild defiance. All right, if you don't want me to do anything around here, give me your story. I still need to hear it.
Like I said, don't need to hear my story. Don't know nothing about me. I'm just here so I can get you know what? No. I know what you're doing. You're tricking me into telling you? No, I'm not. No. And I walk away.
You feel the prince's eyes just stare at you from across the room. His hands are crossed across his chest, and again, to everybody else, he just looks like a completely petulant child.
Fucking nonce.
And kudos on the Britishisms, by the way.
Thank you.
All right.
You remind me of this character. I should play him. He's in the video I posted.
The video you posted. All right, I might look at that one later. Alrighty. So, after some time, it looks like the prince does eventually get bored, and he begins to wander over to where his bard is keeping track of the children. And he kind of sits down around there before he makes eye contact with the nearest person. Let's have a look. Norloth, who is on vaguely friendly terms, or I suppose Norloth vaguely tolerates his presence. Luke, what's Norloth up to at this point? Nope, Luke E is gone.
Salty's on mute. No,
I'm here.
Not there.
Nope, Luke F is fine. Alright. In that case, lacking a Whoop, nope, he's gone and now he's back. I'm assuming he's having microphone issues.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Yeah. Alright, well, in that case, let me roll the dice
Play
here.
the NBN for overseas visitors.
Excuse me. Australian internet is the envy of the world, or so I am told.
No good.
Alright, let me roll the dice here. Alright, in that case, scrolling down, Michael Rithgar at this point staggers in. He's pretty much covered in sweat after his escapades in setting up various traps around the warehouse. At that particular point, the prince catches sight of him and then just immediately stands up and moves over. You are the one who hasn't given me your story either. I want to hear it. Tell me, why are you here? Why did my father pick you?
I'm here because I'm hired. That's why I've come here to do a job. There's nothing more to it. And I glance around the room and cast darkness. And just take off. Go back, straight back outside.
Fair enough. All right. So the prince continues along this particular vein, just trying to bother many of the warriors into actually telling them why they have been selected, and a lot of their stories do match up with everybody else's in the parties at this particular point. It's only after he receives a less than friendly reply that he eventually just seems to give up and proceeds to sulk by his bard, who gives him a bit of a sympathetic look and begins to gently play music in the background to keep him distracted. Alrighty.
The ugly bard.
Yes, the very ugly bard.
Most uncharismatic bard I've ever met.
Yes.
Hey, he has a very lovely voice, okay? Alright. So, the work for this continues in further into the night, and it's roughly around 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. where the absolute basics are finally completed, with the interior of the warehouse finally being sealed off against the element outside, as well as a quick attempt has been made to close the doors leading outside onto the river. So, would anybody like to try and hit me up with a strength check to see if their character is capable of doing so?
No, I'm -1.
Nope. But I do send Shrimp out to keep guard.
Oof.
Why did that roll with advantage? That's very strange.
I don't know, but you fall in the water.
Yeah. Oof.
Your character is mainly strength-based, Addison. I feel this is like the second time you've rolled really badly with them.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible.
Alright, so with a 5, Addison, so these doors are absolutely massive. Let me bring you guys back to the map. So it's one of those stereotypical kind of dock ones, roughly around here, which when open and shut will pretty much allow admittance to any boat that's intended to come through. So functionally you're fighting against the river current as well as the water that's actually in the warehouse already to try and close it. So with that in mind, how do you fail? It's going to be slightly humiliating, but I'll leave it up to your choice.
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'm still tired from my my elk form, and I'm not used to having only 2 legs. and I go and push, and probably my arms give in, and I just stack it.
All right. Sorry, you're in your normal form, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so regardless of being in your normal form, as you feel yourself slip, you let out a very deer-like bleating sound before there is a splash, and you just topple into the water.
Oh dear.
I turn into a quipper and swim away.
Alright. So, Luke, you have rolled a 12 with Solturum, and while being much better than a 5, it means that you're still going to fail to actually close these just without any particular consequence. Did you want to add flavor?
I have a try at doing it and realised that it's beyond my strength. And I'm looking at the doors, and can I assess the weight of the doors at all in terms of how heavy they are?
Hit me up with a nature or investigation.
I don't exist on the map, by the way, Sam.
Sorry?
Oops.
You do your inside. You do rub your inside breeze.
Okay.
Wait.
I've dreamt of
Get
that.
out of there.
Does anyone? All right. Does anyone have an idea of how heavy those doors might be?
I have an idea for something else, though. I have some oil flasks in my pack. Would I be able to use one to oil up the hinges on that door?
Yep, I'll allow that.
Yeah.
And for everybody listening, in keeping with our previous campaign, Luke and Solturum just rolled a 3 for nature. You are baffled by these doors, Luke. You
It's not my forte, assessing the weight of doors. But like I was considering using telekinesis to shut them, hence why I was trying to work out whether I could do that.
How many of us has got mage hand?
I
I think
do.
it might be more than 10 pounds.
Yeah, together.
20.
Is Ciruimon the second strongest character in our party?
I can't do 240 damage in one attack.
No, I mean like strength characteristic.
I am checking that now, and it doesn't look good, guys.
Me, I know that much.
I've got a
Nope, okay. It is Addison who is the strongest character, but otherwise Solturum is the second strongest.
Oh, that's dreadful. That is dreadful.
Wow. Because all of y'all otherwise have set your strength, all of you, sorry, Breeze, Norloth, Tinkrit, and Rithgar, you all have an 8 in strength.
God.
Yes.
Well, you know, that might come in handy if my charismatic arguments fail on the little fellas. Well, does the door oiling help?
The door oiling, hit me up with a dexterity check.
Just straight decks.
Sorry. Straight dex or sleight of hand, I will give you the option.
Alright, I'll do sleight of hand.
And could I get involved with a survival check to, start using ropes and pulleys and such thing lying around to leverage our strength?
Yeah, if you'd like.
I poke my head out of the water, just in shame, and slowly go back underneath, waiting till the doors have been opened.
All right, so a 22 of sleight of hand. So these are ancient doors, Sam. Pretty much one of the reasons that Solturum got a bit distracted is their design is fairly unusual, and it takes you a quick moment to realize that the hinges actually go through the entirety of the door. In doing so, you pretty much had to figure out a way to get the oil from the top down to the bottom, which is about 5 feet down. But with a 22, I'm going to say that you definitely managed to succeed at that one. Did you want to flavor that, or you're good?
No. I just intricately spread the oil throughout the hinges on the door,
Yep. Easy.
saying, "Maybe Will, you should give this another try."
I look for something that can be used as a lever and shout, "Give me a lever large enough, and I shall move the world."
All right. And Michael, you're also doing an investigation to figure out the fulcrum.
I was doing survival, I thought, and happy to roll
yep.
or just give us advantage to someone else.
I will allow you to give advantage to someone else. So who wants to be the one to make the ultimate roll here?
I've just realised that I've got block and tackle, amongst other things. So why don't we use engineering? Try and solve this problem.
From the sounds of it, that's what Michael's heading towards. So whoever does the roll, you will be doing this now at advantage with the +5, considering the oiling and the help being provided by Michael's character.
Is that a nature check?
Sorry?
What check is it?
Strength.
Strength. Oh, I'm.
Alright, I'll get back out of the water. Right, I guess I should actually maybe give it a go again. Maybe.
Airform.
No, I'm going to turn into a warhorse. I think that might be a bit better to
With
pull.
my rope and pulley.
Yeah. So I transform into a warhorse. Alright, attach the pulleys to me.
Okay.
And I run straight. I just pull.
Yep. All right. Hit me up with the strength. Gets a natural 1, falls in the water again.
You got advantage.
Oh, yes, there was advantage.
All right, final outcome of 19. All right, so this one is going to be able to finally end up closing things. There is a bit of a shower of dust as the roof finally becomes accustomed to these doors finally being closed after God knows how many years, but you guys can immediately feel a difference in the temperature as the doors being closed seem to just outright block out any of the bad weather, or at least the coldness of night.
Right, maybe we should have kept them closed. It's a bit fucking cold now. Oh wait, no, I'm a horse.
It's warm.
It's warmer. All right. So with that piece of excitement over and the children now wanting to have a ride on the horsey, pretty much your night begins to come to a bit of an end. So with pretty much all the outside activities being curtailed, it comes down now that the prince begins to set up a bit of a war table in the central area. So I'm going to say around here. Just pretend those are actual table, where you guys can see a bit of a rough map of the city seems to have been drawn up, and in particular, it looks like there are a few locations of interest which have been marked out on them. So, the prince begins to talk fairly quietly with some of the other warriors, but over time, a plan begins to come forward, and it seems that the prince wants to go through a bit of an underhanded method to try and win this year's Yolkheim. Specifically, he wants to go through the catacombs of the city, dig up into the royal keep, and through there, hopefully, take the entire keep and with it the entire game itself. So, the overall explanation takes about half an hour before the prince sinks back into his chair, looking fairly smug, and simply opens it to the room. So, how's my plan sound?
With my whole telepathy, I tell him, you want us to fucking dig? Fuck that.
How do you know that when we get through the catacombs, we'll reach a place where we can actually tunnel through the bedrock the castle's built on to get into the keep?
Only makes logical sense. The catacomb goes throughout the entire city. There's got to be some which comes in, at least has to sprawl directly under it. If we're able to go through, it means we won't need to take the main road, and we won't need to scale the outside cliff, and they're not exactly going to be expecting us to go through their floor, are we?
How do you expect us to tunnel through bedrock?
Did you bring explosives?
He gestures towards the various warriors. I'm sure some of you are mages.
Do you have a map of the catacombs, or are we just guessing this?
No. So, it's at that point that the prince becomes notedly quiet and shares a bit of an uneasy look with his bard. We have explored the catacombs, but I've been informed that they tend to change over time. I don't know how, but apparently they change.
Right. They change.
Who told you that?
My father has had several other mages and so forth throughout the years go through the catacombs to figure out what use they may be able to provide to our efforts, but they've never been able to retrace a single pathway the same way every year. So I don't know if they necessarily change immediately, but I'm fairly sure if we are able to map out the catacombs this year, we should be able to use them to at least come up in a different location than they're expecting.
What's in the catacombs? Sorry, what's in the catacombs?
The catacombs have... Ours, you are not from our fair country, are you?
I don't remember.
He gives you a bit of an incredulous look before he goes, yes, hired. For those of you who are new to our country, we stand on the site of a great warlord who once ruled this fair city and all the lands that you could surveil from here, and unfortunately the catacombs now contain the deceased of those who would have stood against him. So, for the most part, there is the occasional wandering dead, but it is nothing that I'm sure warriors of your... He stops for a moment before he gives a specific look towards Will. Your caliber would be able to handle.
What was that look, mate? What was the look? What was that for?
You
I heard your tone.
That
That's
still
what-
doesn't that still doesn't explain how, even if we get through the catacombs, unless the catacombs actually enter into the keep itself, how you expect us to burrow through solid rock.
Well, magic can do it, can't it?
Well, sure, but at the end of the day, it's going to require an intense amount of magical energy to blast through solid rock, which will probably defeat the purpose of trying to sneak in through the basements.
So let's call this one Plan B. Anyone got any other ideas?
Well, I think there's have we built we haven't built a team of thugs, dear boy. We are a team of stealth masters, and you should take full advantage of those skills, those abilities, rather than use this as a blunt instrument. I look around, and I'm talking to the prince. I look around and point out, look at some of the rather larger ones. Send those big ones off to dig holes. We'll find another way in, and when you blow it up, we'll climb over the wall stealthy-like and take control for you.
A pincer movement.
Indeed.
So the prince simply goes, well, all right, I suppose we can arrange for that. Well, I had another plan where we try and divide up our forces so that we can catch them unaware from several places. I want us all working out of here as a central headquarters, but if we can establish outposts through other places in the city, then we might be able to overwhelm their forces, or at least keep track of their movements.
Sounds a bit better to me.
That sounds like a better use of our skills, my lord.
Well, if that's the case, this was one of the areas that we were looking for, but I think we're setting this up as an ideal base. We're also looking at one section of the catacombs, which seems to be self-contained, at least externally, but I think there was another place, a guild hall, which is up on the second ring. If you and your stealth masters are so inclined, you can seize the guild hall and ensure that it cannot be used against us and can work for our forces instead.
What say you, chaps?
Sounds a little more to my skill set.
Great.
And Rithgar? And Will?
Yeah, right.
Agreed.
Orloff and Salty Old Boy.
Tinker, a quiet word over here, please.
Certainly.
This
Yes.
the young Jarl doesn't strike me as being the sharpest tool in the toolbox.
He's thick
And-
as two planks and twice as dumb.
Do we really? The objective of this game, as I understand it, is protect the children, protect the young Jarl, and protect the artifact. Do we really want to take the group which is clearly most capable of achieving that task and leave him essentially in charge of the main pieces of the game?
Sam, have we noticed anyone more that seems capable amongst the other hirelings and mercenaries and...
All right, so you haven't really traveled with anybody outside of your immediate party. Pretty much, as you guys might recall from the last session, the entire forces were kind of brought here over 6 or 7 caravans as opposed to just one big group. So you've pretty much only had about the last 24 hours to really get to know people. Feel free to roll me an insight if you would be so inclined.
Sure, why not?
A natural 20.
God damn it! You're a 20 machine.
All right.
How about that?
And Rob, that brings you up to 5 nat 20s stored away, because I'm assuming you're going to be storing that.
I will store it, yes.
Yep. All right.
I'm
So-
eyeing a certain shield.
All right. So you have gotten to know quite a number of your companions, even with the last 24 hours, enough that you feel like you can have a firm handle on their particular their abilities as well as their capacity to actually do as they're told and kind of be expected to remain around. Now, in particular, you do have one member of Clan Solvkrieg, whose name is Solothime, who is a mage. They don't seem to overly have much in common with your particular group of magical abilities, but he does come across as a fairly earnest academic who, with a very quick eye. He was very quick to he was one of the very few who actually seemed to notice the hustle that you guys were doing over the other members of the clan the previous night. However, he was apparently not inclined to actually mention it to anybody.
Right. But I loosened his tongue, did I?
Loosened his tongue.
He decided to share it.
Sorry, say again.
That doesn't matter. Let's move on.
All right, no worries. All right, so yes, the the person called Solothime. So let me spell that out for you.
Solothime, is it?
Solothime. There we go.
That's cool. I had written it Solothime, but Solothime it is. Cool.
So long as you didn't write down cellophane.
I didn't.
Excellent. But if he crosses you, oh boy.
I really didn't. But I may call him that from now on.
Noted.
Solothime, have you noticed that the prince seems somewhat rash?
It is a good trait for any particular Jarl, one who is quick to defend his people. Of course, it does tend to cause some problems on the battlefield when he does not look before he leaps. He says very, very carefully neutral.
Yes. And it's always better for a Jarl to have someone to do some of that looking before the leaping, wouldn't you say?
I am entirely inclined to agree, my Lord Pipedrone.
You seem someone capable of vision.
Possibly somebody who is quick to perceive and quick to advise, someone who is experienced in the world.
Yes. And you seem to have some measure of respect from the Jarl as well.
Well, respect can be measured in many ways, but I am inclined to talk to the Jarl with all due, the Jarl's child with all due honour.
Yes. We are concerned that should we leave, he may make decisions that will be to his own detriment. And we're looking for someone to guide him, to help him make the correct decisions. I feel that you may be that person. What say you?
Solothime pauses for a moment, his eyes flickering across Mikkel and then across to the bard, who seems very happily entertaining the children with a quick game and as well as a quick song on his lute. I believe that the position of counsel is already filled for the young prince, but I suppose that having somebody nearby that he may be able to get even a third opinion, somebody who can keep an eye on the children, who he may be able to approach, would be beneficial to our task. I can think of nobody else, and there are many of my magics which would be more beneficial here rather than spread around the city, so I am inclined to agree with you.
Shall we have a conversation with him to persuade him of your ability before we leave?
So with that, you get a bit of a wicked grin coming from Solothime. I thought that you were impressed enough with my abilities that no such persuasion was required.
I certainly need no persuasion. Certainly by that answer, you've proven me right. But the Jarl is young and may need some persuasion.
Of course. Well, let us go talk to him, and if worse comes to worse, we have some mead stored back there.
Yes. What about a possibility also, should there be an issue, you'd be able to contact us?
He stops for a moment before he just looks a bit chagrined. I will admit, the capacity to communicate with you over using magic is unfortunately outside of my repertoire. If I am definitely able to respond if you are able to get it to me, but I cannot get into contact first, so to speak. I do have many magics which may be visible from around the city, however.
We may have a solution to that. I think we might. Do we not have message stones? I call Salty over. Salty, old boy! Do we have message stones? Still.
Did we resolve that issue last game?
Yeah, I stole them, remember? I stole them back.
Well, I don't remember the outcome of that discussion, but if we did steal them back, then yes, we have message stones.
Yes, you guys do have the message stones since Tinkrit liberated them.
That's right.
Let's call a spade a spade. I stole them.
Yeah. Solithine, we have message stones that can allow us to communicate throughout the city.
Well, if you're willing to part with them, then yes, I am more than...
No, we're willing to lend.
Lend, my dear man.
He gives you just a bit of an innocent smile. Of course, just like those men were lending their coins. We'll see how this ends up. And then he just gives a bit of a wink.
Huh?
Regardless, I will be able to use this and communicate with you as required.
Lovely. So should we try and persuade the Jarl?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to have a crack, Salty, or shall I?
Well, I mean, it's very kind of you to let this someone with the charisma modifier of less than 300 have a chop at this.
Wow, that wasn't salty at all.
Hey, there you go.
All right, regardless, you just got a 25, so nice work.
Okay.
All right.
My lord, the suggestion we have is that my lord Pipe Drone and my company will go and clear the guild hall. While we're gone, we think it would be wise, in order to preserve the secrecy of our current base, for you and the children and your warriors to momentarily remain here, and we will be in communication with Solithine to update you and receive instructions from you as we proceed about that task. That's our advice for your consideration. So, it doesn't take too long before the prince is aptly convinced that having Solithine by him in order to coordinate things is the best course forward. By the end of Solturum's discussions, he is almost convinced it was his idea in the first place. Now, the only thing that the prince is very reluctant to budge on is the fact that he doesn't necessarily want you guys leaving tonight, as the possibility for Clan Coldstreak to go forward and make one immense strike starting at midnight, which is when the Yolkine officially begins, is a very real one.
We have trapped this area, and we will be able to come back fast.
It would be good to have a long rest, though, if we can get one.
Okay. I'm open to that. Let's speak to the rest of the party.
Yeah, I'm happy to have a nap.
I mean, I can go out and scout a little bit. I'm quite fine as it is, and come back and have a little bit of a short rest.
Well, we can send Trimp out for that, and Hoot. Let them do the hard work.
Okay.
Well, it's up to you, of course.
Yeah, I'm fine with having a nap.
Alrighty. Well, that sounds like the majority.
That's fun.
Naps are always good.
So, seems like we have a majority ruling then. Alright, so the night continues on, and it looks like the various warriors of the clan are willing to begin dividing themselves up into shifts, and you can notice that everybody seems to get more tense the closer it gets to midnight. Hoot and Trimp, as at this particular point, the only thing that they can report is that it seems like a fairly large flock of bats seems to currently be in the skies above the city, but they don't seem to be acting like bats normally do. Unfortunately, neither of them are really able to get any closer to the flock, swarm? What's a collective term for bats?
Enough bats. That's a good question.
Collective term for bat. Is it colony? Yes,
Yeah,
a colony.
Or a cloud.
Cloud, colony, or a camp?
A camp of bats.
Yeah,
That's
apparently.
The 1960s Batman version.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's honestly the reason. Alright, but they're not able to get close enough to the colony of bats to necessarily figure out exactly what they're doing. So, midnight comes, and here and there, some of the other warriors have gone out for a quick patrol of the streets, but there doesn't seem to be anything that actually seems to occur. It looks like that Clan Coldstrig is intending to hold back their forces and not go for an all-out offense as soon as things can go through.
Probably because they're too busy on the potty.
Putting it politely.
Maybe you should chuck some of the guts from the slaves
Slard.
into their
Oh, yes.
slard.
Trimp, my boy. Another job.
Just begins muttering. And
Stick some of his poison in it as well.
Alright, so Trimp goes off to do that, and it doesn't take long before Trimp eventually comes back, reporting a success, and you guys are left to your own devices. What would you guys like to do for a downtime activity of 8 hours?
I'm sorry. I'm going to rest, but that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, if you guys want to choose sleep, go for it. I'm just more bringing it up in case some of you guys don't need to sleep.
No, I'll sleep.
I'm used to all-nighters, but in this instance, I think I may.
I think everyone.
Z's.
Breeze will take a short rest. He doesn't need a full rest. And then I guess he will maybe find a nice perch to watch over the area from.
Yep. Excellent. All right. In that case, night passes, and you guys are woken up at around dawn, and advised that during the night, one of your warrior companions seems to have disappeared and has actually missed their particular check-in.
One of the ones patrolling outside the doors.
That's right.
Right, who was it this time? Who went for a piss and didn't come back? Must have gotten fucking lost.
So the prince is also livid, basically just muttering horrible things about somebody who would abandon the children and just pretty much assuming the worst, that they've gone off in order to try and steal the artifact for all the glory themselves.
Did Hoot or I catch a glimpse of anything that was happening?
With your roll of 15 from before, Hoot is none the wiser.
And Trimpy, old boy.
And was
roll-
I asleep for the part where that happened, or when I went outside to find a perch and sit up nice and high myself, did I see anything?
You did not, no. Alright, and Rob, would you be able to roll me either perception or, perception for Trimp?
Trimpy.
Oh, I forgot that Mayal gets advantage on perception checks as well.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Herp did herp derp derp.
I'm just going to have to use mine. I can't see any under him. Just shit, because mine's rubbish. Anyway.
Alright, so a 19 for Trimp. That is Trimp's roll, right?
Yep.
Excellent. Alright, so throughout the night, and Trimp undergoing his various duties, you've kept Trimp out for the last 24 hours, correct?
Yeah, but he doesn't need to sleep. He's a... What's his name? Thingamajig, a fiend.
Give me a second, however. Do. Yes, it's something that Thomas actually advised me of last week, and you guys are going to love it. He might not need to sleep, but apparently familiars do still need to rest. So if he's not resting, it means that he's going to be working with one level of exhaustion, apparently. It doesn't say that he's not able to do so. So yeah, if you dismiss him for that long, it can be perfectly fine. But yeah, he does need to rest at one stage.
Oh, I didn't think fiends needed to sleep.
Apparently they don't need to sleep, but they need to rest. So kind of like elves.
Oh, so they can do it for a couple of hours then, like a meditation, like elves.
Not quite a meditation. I don't think there's a trance option, but do you want me to just confirm that with Thomas?
Sure.
Alright, give me a quick sec.
We're like, a familiar needs to be dismissed for a certain amount of hours, otherwise they take a level of exhaustion.
I mean, it seemed like the Undying Warlock, because they don't need to sleep, but they still get exhaustion if they don't rest, I assume.
Mm.
Who knows?
We'll
Guess
find
we're
out when I
about to
get
find
there.
out. Yeah, I guess we're about to find out. Alright, I wonder where this member has gone. I think my vote is he went to chuck a piss and got lost.
Probably got taken for information. I'm a skeptic.
Yes, I'd suggest that's probably...
Well, yeah, that's more likely.
Does anyone have like locate person or whatever it is?
No, I don't.
I mean, is someone good with nature? We could track.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Probably survival. Better.
That's Rithga's
Yeah.
job.
Rithkin is that.
We might need to. It might be a spy.
Yeah.
I think Redfield will suspect he's been stolen by a demon.
Alright. Yeah, let's see if I know locate person. Locate anything. Locate creature. Oh. Yeah, I do know locate creature, so I could do that. After my long rest, I can prepare it and be like, alright, let's find him.
Okay.
From what I've been able to see, it's all up to the DM.
And back. From the sounds of it, you guys might have already looked it up and found the answer.
It says that it's up to the DM.
Fair enough. All right. So rules as written is functionally that they do. There's nothing that says they don't need to do a rest and all that. So functionally, they will need to rest on their own. But there is technically a way around it, which is if you just outright dismiss your familiar and get a new familiar, because your new one just comes in completely rested and so forth. As Thomas was very happy to tell me.
How long would constitute enough of a rest for a familiar to not get exhaustion?
So they need to basically have a long rest down time of 8 hours. So it's
Unacceptable.
Do you recast the spell, Sam? Or
if you dismiss it and get an outright new familiar, you can recast it and bring it like that.
but if it's just rested, then it's
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you saying that it wouldn't be Trimp? Is that what you're telling me?
And that's all right. If you want to get rid of Trimp,
And if Trimp's already died and I've resummoned him.
you could get Trimp and Tramp, and then just alternate.
Yeah, I could.
Tramp and Trump.
There's already enough tramps in this team, I think.
Just a,
no, I think there's only one bard.
Isn't that enough?
True. Wait, aren't you that bard?
Isn't that enough?
oh yeah.
Anyway, yes, they will be susceptible to sleeping rules because, yeah, apparently that's rules as written, or rather, rules as not written.
What is it? What is it? One level of exhaustion do to him?
Sorry.
What does one level of exhaustion?
Disadvantage. It's disadvantage in all ability checks.
Yep.
Okay, that being said, I will dismiss my owl to the Feywild. Not
Yep.
completely, just like I'm into the pocket dimension. So yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Do that.
So yeah, level 1 of exhaustion is disability on ability checks.
All right. Shrimp, go and have a rest in another realm. Come back.
All right. Okay, your familiars are now dismissed.
But I do it for an hour, and then I summon him.
And then
tuck
you
my
what?
stoat in, mince like. I have a little bed for him laid out next to mine.
Fair enough. Does Will have a... Oh, wait. Did you go with that character concept of Will having a mouse?
Yeah, he's got a mouse.
Chuck E.
He's
Cheese.
it's Chuck E. Cheese, yeah. But he just naps on his shoulder most of the time. He doesn't actually do anything.
What
This
about
is-
the plant?
The plant, Leif Erikson, he walks beside me most of the time. But they functionally have no use in combat, and I don't really use them as familiars. They're just there for me,
Just for colour.
MMO aesthetic pets.
pretty much.
But he's resting.
But
Does he
yes,
have like a bed?
Okay, plants don't rest. They photosynthesize.
but
Really? Sam?
yeah.
Not at night, they don't.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So what we're telling me is that the 19 perception. What are we saying about that? Was he asleep, or was he unsummoned and then summoned back? Is that what's in the plan?
If you want to have keep him out for the perception check, it will be done at disadvantage. If you want to have dismissed him, then you won't be able to get that roll at all.
So dismiss him and call him back. I get him fresh, but I don't get him to do the roll. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he still needs to rest for 8 hours, so...
Not if you summon him back, weren't we just saying?
No, that's if you outright get rid of him as a familiar bond and then get a new familiar altogether.
Surely you jest. No,
Is Trimp a familiar or is he something else?
he's a
I thought he was
familiar.
something else. Okay.
Acts as the find familiars.
So he's not an actual fiend. Just for your information, Rithgar,
Oh! So why have I been trying to stab him?
because you've been confused.
Because regardless, he's very annoying.
Same reason I'm always trying to stab people. I guess.
Alright, so yeah, which way do you want to do it, Rob?
Yep. But no roll.
No roll? Okay.
Consider it disappeared.
You know nothing.
You know nothing. Nothing. Okay. So, yes, you wake up to the news of this particular warrior who has disappeared in the night. It hasn't overly concerned most of the others. They seem to be just pretty much listening to what the prince is saying and assuming that the idiot has probably gone to try and do an early rush solo run of the and collect the artifact himself, but has just been caught in the process.
Fucking hell. Right, well, what's his name? What's it look like? Where's he from? I'll find him.
What does he smell like?
I'm casting locate creature.
Alrighty. Give me a quick check. No, sorry, a quick moment is what I meant to say. Yep, give me a quick check, guys.
What kind of
Yep, I
check?
checked. We found him.
All of them!
Okay. Investigation, insight.
He's going for a 20. Stop him.
If you got a nat one, you just got one. So
Alright, so the person in question, their name is Nel Shadil, who is a bit of an older man, a little bit pompous, but you presume that the only reason that he's kind of been included in this particular one is he looks like he was a warrior of some great renown back in the day. Definitely that sort of one who would go and talk about how everything was much better in his heyday and adventuring wasn't quite as complicated.
traps.
Be calling him.
Sorry?
Grandpa will be calling him.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I'll cast Locate Creature, and it'll tell us what way he is. Oh, if he's within 1,000 feet of me.
Yep. Just checking through. You get no sense whatsoever.
Right. Fuck, he is nowhere near here, wherever he is.
He might be dead, guys.
I mean, he shouldn't be. The whole point of this is that we don't kill people.
Yes. That's
Am I
really
still
funny,
sleeping,
isn't
Sam?
Sorry, Michael?
Am I still sleeping?
If you want to have woken up by this point, you feel free to. I'll have considered everybody to have completed their long rests.
I mean, unless he's 1,000 meters or more away from you, that's the only other explanation, right?
Well, yeah. Otherwise, we head into the semi-middle of the city, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a better gauge of where he is.
Yeah, I suppose once we head to the guild hall, we can try again.
So let me scout the area for tracks.
Isn't it an active? Sorry.
Sam, can I scout the area for tracks and signs of demon spore?
Yep. So you'll be doing that presumably after you've made your preparations and left?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so once you're actively going, did you guys want to do anything before you guys had left the main headquarters?
No.
I tell the prince that his soldiers probably been kidnapped by demons and taken to one of the levels of hell. And if we can find his corpse, we'll bring him back.
It's the obvious answer, yeah.
Rivka, let's go.
Alright, so if you're going to be doing a trap, I will get you to do investigation to try and find any traps. You can also do perception. I might allow survival, but at disadvantage.
So I was saying track. Tracks.
Oh, track. Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright, so yes, in that case, hit me up with a survival. Wow, 28. Alright, so it doesn't take long and before Rithgar is able to pick up traces of the apparently disappeared person. So, just a sec, try not to cough. Nope, I failed. Choking on my own spit right now. Yeah, not fun. Alright, so Rithgar, you are able to pick up traces of Nel Shadil fairly early on, and you begin to lead everybody a merry chase through the abandoned streets, only stopped here and there on the advice of Tinkrit just to ensure that you guys are as firmly hidden as is possible. Now, it's about a 10-minute walk from the headquarters of the warehouse where all traces of Nel Shadil just suddenly disappear.
And there were no traces of anyone else?
There are no traces. There is just a strange indent in the dirt, as if something had been pressed down here, or a blanket laid out, or a magic force had been set down and just cleared it.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
You may. Alright, detect magic. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see the faint aura around any visible creature or objects in the area that bears magic, and you learn at School of Magic, if any. Alright, so with that in mind, flavor it up for me to begin with. Michael, how do you portray your findings to the rest of the party before Norloth takes his action?
So I've been tracking along with my eyes almost on all fours, as if I'm smelling the track, and then I get to a point, and I just stop and turn and look to the rest of them and say, "This is where the demons took him."
All right. So at that point, Norloth steps forward and casts Detect Magic. How does Detect Magic look when cast by Norloth?
He just raises one of his hands. It just glows purple, and then his eyes just start glowing purple.
So, as you inspect the world around you, you are unable to detect any particular magic. You aren't even able to detect any lingering magic, which might suit the story that Rithgar has advised. So, no portals have been opened up here. It simply looks as if this Nel Shadil has just outright vanished with no trace.
Hey guys, I'm not sure if I told you, but last night when I had Hoot out, he saw a strange colony of bats circling the city. Do you reckon they could have had anything to do with his disappearance?
Well, I was about to suggest that maybe he could fly, but maybe it's more likely that the bats picked him up and took him.
Or he turned into a crowd of bats, because he's a demon. Can I do an investigation check, Sam?
Investigation of 29. Alright. Rithgar, you begin to very intently search the area through all means that are available to you. So sense, vision, hearing. You are unable to find anything alternate personalities. You are unable to find anything that will substantiate the concept that he has just turned himself into something. The only thing that you can really smell is the smell of what it smells like old leather, old musty leather, and that's pretty much all that remains in the area aside from the ambient smells.
And there's no bat droppings?
No bat droppings.
How long have we been
Or
traveling
guano,
to get
as
here,
it's
Sam?
called. Sorry?
How long have we been traveling to get here so far?
Only about 10 minutes.
Okay. Will, can you sense anything at all? I take it you've been maintaining concentration on your spell.
No, I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. There's anything else in here? I mean, I think maybe we'll get a bit further in. Hopefully, maybe bang on city centre, and then maybe I'll get something else.
Sam,
This disappearance isn't going to help with Rithgar's paranoia of,
the truth.
To be honest, nothing we do is going to create any relevance for him as far as winning this competition.
Sam, is there any reason why the codger would have been coming down here that we can see?
With your investigation, for all intents and purposes, it looks like he was making a fairly direct beeline. So you got a ridiculous amount of survival and investigation, a 28 and 29. So as near as you can tell, it looks like the prince seems to have actually cottoned on to exactly what Nel Shadil might have been wanting to do. Specifically, he wanted to try and surprise Clan Coldstreak and try and take their artifact before they're none the wiser. However, it looks like he was intercepted in his just outright disappearance.
Fucking boomers, mate. Fucking boomers.
All right, should we proceed onto the guild hall?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of got what he deserved.
It seems like a case. It seems like a case of misadventure.
No one deserves what he's got.
Yes, Rithgar.
All right.
All right.
So, the journey across the city continues as you guys begin to scout out the guild hall. Now, the guild hall, as mentioned, is in the second tier of the city, which, for those of you who either weren't paying attention or have forgotten, the entire city is kind of built in a layer cake motif. So, the second ring is the one that is functionally just below the tallest peak, which contains the royal keep. Now, getting up there down from the warehouse takes a substantial amount of time. You guys will be looking at a total of 40 minutes if you're able to travel without care. If you guys are trying to be careful and stealth your way along, you're probably looking closer to an hour.
Who's the essentially invisible members of our party? That's what
That would be me and Breeze and Tinker.
I got a +5.
I have a +6, or I can just turn into a rat.
Yeah, I've also got like a bunch of invisibility spells and stuff.
So should we roll stealth checks at this stage?
If you guys want to. If you guys are able to collectively roll better than 16, I will allow you to take the shorter time.
Okay.
All right.
Get advantage.
Okay.
Ooh. I think we did it.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so Tinkrit was a 20... Whoop, no, that's a 34. 24. Solturum got himself a 14.
Well done.
Will has himself a 22. Rithgar got himself a 24. Breeze got himself a ridiculous 29. And 2, 4... Yep. And Noloth got a 7. One of these numbers is not like the other.
Might have fucked up, guys.
Hopefully my 29 brings up the average.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. It'll be above 16.
We should be fine.
Alright, so in total that gives you guys an average stealth of unnatural 20.
Oh yeah.
So you've more than nailed it. So Breeze, as the official holder of the highest thing there, what do you do to compensate for Norloth's lack of stealth? Luke, firstly, how is Norloth being unstealthy?
He's probably just distracted looking into all the architecture and how the city was built.
Okay. So tourist mode.
Yep.
Easy. And Breeze, how do you compensate for that?
I mean, I guess he just has an affinity for finding quick and silent ways through cities from his background and everything. So he just kind of like points him out to the right spot to go and what not to tread on, and yeah.
Yep. Perfect. All right. I won't lie. My mental thing there, Luke, if you couldn't think of it, was that you just couldn't figure a way to turn the purple eyes off. All right. So 40 minutes, and you guys are able to make it up to the second ring without nary a peep from the royal keep above you. For those of you with a passive perception of 15 or higher, you will notice that there seems to only be 2 guards out at any one particular time, and it is almost trivially easy to escape their particular view as they gaze down into the city. Those of you who have an additional passive perception of 18 will also note that the guards, like Hoot has noted the night before, do not look overly steadily on their feet at the moment.
Do we want to try and capture one of these guards and get some intel directly from them about the defensive measures?
If we capture one of them, we're not allowed to kill them, which means we then...
Can't we take them prisoner, take them back?
We've already got a lot of pets.
What's one more? Come on.
Well, the other thing as well is we could... how can we use this? Like, we're essentially able to probably manipulate them and grab them. Maybe. So they're coming down into this tier of the cake, are they, Sam?
No, they're surveying you guys. They're surveying the city from the royal keep itself. So up on tier 1.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought there were guards patrolling down to the city. My apologies.
That's all good. Probably my bad.
Well, we've still got some way to go before we get to them. However, let's keep it up, the stealthiness, otherwise they might spot us.
So, you guys are progressing further up into the city, and even as you guys go up the rampart onto the second tier, you can see that the view that you get from the city seems to be of a phenomenal view. Pretty much you can see almost the entire country stretching out in every single direction, and it's given you unprecedented views of the mountains in the distance, as well as the river to the south.
Wow. If only I had some way to capture this and remember it forever. Look back on it. Never I wanted.
You could turn into a Kodiak bear.
Oh, that is true.
Then it'll be a Kodiak moment.
I'll turn into an
Oh
elephant.
God, Sam!
Elephant, never forget.
Seriously, we should all get natural.
Yeah,
we should all get a bank 20 for that. It was terrible.
Nope. I regret nothing.
How much psychic damage do we take?
That was the natural one of jokes.
You're just jealous because you couldn't think of it yourselves.
Yeah. Sure.
You sucked me in, and I thought there was something fascinating about Kodiak bears I didn't know. That's why it really hurts.
Yeah. You got me with my own stupidity.
I try. At least I didn't get you guys with the moose fact yet again.
So we've now made it to the second layer. Is that second level of the second tier of the city? Is that correct?
That's right. So, moving into the second layer, you can see that everything around here seems to, even over the wear and tear, seems to be of a finer architectural quality than the lower ring. Especially up here, it looks like most of the buildings surprisingly have handled the wear and tear of time a lot better than the buildings on the lower ring, by virtue of largely being built out of stone, albeit many of them have still fallen into intense disrepair. The Guildhall in question only takes about a 5-minute walk once you guys have crossed up the rampart onto the second tier, and even as you survey it from the outside, you can see that this looks like it would be a phenomenal area to create a new outpost, as it seems to be a walled-off compound about another 5 minutes walk from the rampart that would lead you up to the Royal Keep itself. It looks like the structures are also fairly expansive from out here, which is impressive considering the limited space of the city. And likewise, the only real thing that it doesn't have going for it is that it is in a plain open view of the Royal Keep at all times.
Right. Well, I mean, this would be a good spot to draw their eyes while we come from somewhere else, you know what I mean? If they can see us at all times.
Yeah, that's a good idea. How is there another tier before we get to the keep?
No, it's just the 3.
Okay. So the keep is the third tier.
That's right.
Yeah. And positioning wise, are we near the main gate for the keep, or around the back of the keep, or?
Sorry, could you say again?
Whereabouts on the tier are we comparative to, say, the front main gate of the keep?
So you guys, how do you describe this? Where are you guys comparatively? Okay. So you guys pretty much have come in the southern exit into the city. The rampart up into the second tier is on the eastern side of the city. The Guildhall is towards the northeast of the city, with the rampart up to the keep being directly north. Did that answer the question?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sam, could I use my cartographer's tools and spend some time making maps of this?
Yeah, of course. Are you going to be doing it as you walk, or are you going to be dedicating specific stationary time?
If there's 10 minutes to be had where I can sit and draw.
Yep. All right. Well, you guys are currently on the outside of the Guildhall anyway, so kind of your call where you guys want to go from here.
Why don't you do that while I send Trimp in?
He
No.
needs more
Trimp-
rest, though. No.
I don't think it's been 8 hours yet. I think Trimp's still a bit tired.
Oh, he's not?
He might get the wrath of exhaustion if he's made to go in.
This is his first rest since COVID, mate.
Flat out, he deserves a couple of months off.
I mean, surely I can do it just as stealthily.
I mean, I'll
Not
happily.
really. He can fly and he's invisible.
I
I'll
mean, I
happily
have
turn
the
it to,
invisibility spell.
Anyway, I'll happily turn into a hawk or something, fly over top. I can't believe that would be incredibly sus.
I mean, I'm happy to slip in over the wall.
Oh, I can cast invisibility on myself and put on my wings of flying. Go scoot around for an hour or so if I can see.
My brain just made an even worse joke. You'd be the flying Solturum monster.
God.
Well, you are correct. It was a worse joke. So.
Oh, Rob, you missed my amazing joke before.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
Not worth repeating.
Y'all are just
If
jealous.
anything, bent the time-space definition of a joke.
We're all envious that you missed it, so...
Okay, listen, I came here to have a good a time, and I feel so attacked right now.
So do we.
Sam will not be coming back. I have to find a new DM.
Noted.
Okay, so does that sound like a decent idea, gentlemen? I will activate my wings of flying, cast invisibility on myself, and see what I can see.
Sure.
Nolof, don't you have a broom as well? Maybe go with him.
I'll come with you then.
All right, well,
Do
let's
you want me to just
go.
up a level 2 spell so we both get it?
We can all fly.
Or level 3?
That just takes the fun out of it if you can all fly.
All right. So, Solturum, you're taking the air perspective. Sam, did you want Breeze to sneak in and do the
Yeah,
terrestrial?
I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. He's gonna go. You guys and your tricks. I'll just climb over the wall.
Well,
Guys are so fancy. This is how we do it old school. All right.
Back in my day, we didn't have wings.
I send Trimp ahead in any case.
All right. So wings of flying and invisibility. All right. So, roll me up a active stealth, Sam.
No worries, advantage. That is
24 and an 18. Okay, so 24 wins. Give me a quick sec. Alrighty. So, from the air, Solturum, you can see that parts of the Academy / Guild Hall seem to actually have some movement on the inside, and even as you climb up into the air, you can see that most of the Guild Hall buildings are fully intact at the current time. So again, it kind of reaffirms that this is actually going to be a phenomenal place to set up as an outpost with fairly expansive grounds. However, as you begin to call the movement inside the building calls your attention, and as you swoop down, you can see some fairly large humanoids which appear to be inhabiting the building. Now, Sam, at the same time, with a 24 in stealth, as you sneak in, you are immediately assaulted with the smell of rotting meat and decay. You are instantly able to tell that whatever is in this building is obviously a carnivore. Now, as you sneak through the building, it takes you some time before you come across a sleeping humanoid who seems to have a fairly small collection of bones next to it that it seems to be actively trying to collect. Solturum and Breeze, can I please get a... Ooh, what do I want to do? An Arcana to identify exactly what these creatures are.
No, I know nothing.
Alright. So, Solturum, it takes you a moment to place them before you are able to ascertain that they are a subdivision of ogres, which are simply known as Onis. They are fairly ferocious magic users in their own right who are capable of actually changing their form, and most importantly, they are also carnivorous. It takes you do know that they seem to be going through. They traditionally select an area which is fairly well built up, and usually use that as a lair. But generally, they don't go in groups of any larger than maybe 8 or 9 at maximum.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So, Breeze, for your knowledge, you're able to ascertain that it looks to be a fairly large humanoid, roughly about 9 feet tall. It has blue skin and white hair, and even as you look at it, it is tastefully covered in fairly tattered purple pants. You can see nearby that it does also have fairly sharp claws, and it looks like this one actually has a rough knife, which is simply attached to a pole weapon.
Okay, I think I'm just more concentrating on the fact that I don't want to become part of its bone collection.
Fair enough. All right, so that's what the two of you have. Feel free to report back if you would like.
Yeah,
All right.
head back.
All right, I'm gonna go back. I'll wait for Breeze. All right, gentlemen. The place looks like it's infested by Oni. Do you know what they are? Basically ogres, but they cast spells and they're pretty. They're quite strong. So, this.
How many did you say?
I don't know how many's in there, but they usually live in their lairs. Usually contain groups of up to 8.
Great.
But they're quite powerful. They're a subspecies of ogre. The most dangerous aspect of Onis is that they will have spellcasters, and the spellcasters can cast a range of different spells such as sleep and gaseous form and charm person, which makes them pretty formidable enemies.
I suspect somebody's looking at it at the monster manual page.
Hey, I roll them my card of 18. I take it I know more than just their name.
True.
All I know is they collect bones, and I'm not keen to become part of that.
Were these bones assembled in any sort of shape, like a pentagram?
No, they just look like they seem to. Sorry, Breeze, you.
They were. They're devil worshippers.
Yep, all of them
I
devil.
wasn't paranoid enough to find out.
Fair enough.
I think we should just start rallying Rithka up. Anytime he asks for something, she's like, yeah, it's a demon. You can go and do it.
I'm glad you pushed on.
Demon! Then, Kool-Aid Man's his way through the walls.
Yes, let's go kill him.
Right, yeah. Let's fuck him up.
Do we have any buffing we needed to do before we go in there and chop them up?
All right, line up.
I will have a look what I have.
So, Tinker,
Yes.
have a haste.
Thank you ever so much.
Got enhance ability.
I can cast Bark Skin on you.
On me,
Yes, you.
that would be good. Though
All right.
probably someone who's more likely to be involved in combat would be better.
Well, you
What do you
have
miss?
managed to get yourself splattered from time to time, so I think everyone else has got armor class above 16.
I mean, I just
okay.
intend on making it to cover again after my attacks anyway. So
Yeah, alright, Barkskin would be good. I definitely need an armor class of 16.
You should go level of lock, Hexblade. Then you get like medium armor and shield.
No, I'm purely sorcerer.
Okay.
He needs
You're a
those.
second tank, Luke.
Well, yeah, I guess I am now.
Alrighty, so all your preparations are done?
I've got enhance ability. Anyone want that?
what does
So
it do?
I can. Hang on, let me open it up. So I can give you Bear's Endurance, Bull Strength, Cat's Grace. The other ones are just for mental stats, but bears endurance, advantage on con checks, also do 2d6 temporary hit points. Bull's strength, advantage on strength checks, and cat's grace, advantage on dex checks, and doesn't take damage from falling 20 feet or less.
You
I
fancy.
think I'm alright.
If not, yeah, that's probably...
I'll take some cat's grace if anyone wants it.
Yeah, I'll cat's grace you then. I'll put it in chat.
All right. Well, how about this, guys? If you guys want to continue discussing this, we'll also take a 10-minute break. Alrighty. So, what are you guys going to be doing in regards to our Onis? You guys are currently outside the guild hall. You have a vague awareness of where things are. Who would like to be the first in?
I guess Breeze might try and creep back in and not wake up the sleeping one.
Alright. Y'all should be on the map now. I might actually just create an area. So, do that. So you guys can actually see it. And we will store all of our characters there until you're actually on the map. Alright. And I think that one is Breeze. Alright. Go for it, Sam. What would you like to do?
If that one's asleep, can I end its life, or...?
I am fine for you to go through and make an attack roll if you are capable of actually hitting it, and then I have no problems with you either inflicting a lot of damage or just outright killing it.
Okay, might try and sneak up to it and kill it. Then.
Yes.
Alright.
Don't miss.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want me to sneak with you, Sam?
Yeah, maybe sneak with me. We'll double team this guy.
Said the actress of the bishop.
Oh, sure. That gets a giggle, but I make my Kodiak joke and you all are telling me I do psychic damage to you? Hate you all.
Yeah, you need to get far more deeper into the gutter, Sam.
Do you
Apparently.
want a stealth check? Or
Does
you
it count as double teaming if they're halflings? Or is it one person?
That's racist.
No, it's just called teaming.
Funny though.
Yeah.
I don't
Alright.
think it'd be racist against non-existent races.
So, Sam, Breeze rolled a 24 before.
Pardon?
Breeze rolled a 24 on stealth before.
Yeah.
So I'll keep that in play. Rob, roll me an active stealth for Tinker, even though we know he's going to pass. Oh, look, a 15. Oh, look, a 25.
Never mind.
Alright, the two of you are going to be able to sneak in with no problem.
After you, sir. I sign in thieves can't.
I'll cast magic illusion with the word shh. Minor illusion.
I didn't say anything. It was just my fingers.
Your very loud
I
fingers.
say again with my fingers.
The wind where your fingers move is too audible.
All right, I guess we creep up, and both of us are gonna, on the count of a fingered 1, 2, 3. We're both gonna try and end this thing's life.
Alright.
Do you do it on 3, or do you do it on like the beat after 3?
Don't confuse it.
I move my
On
fingers
3.
again. I go on 3.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you guys a little bit of a stakes here. So he is currently unarmored, so his armor class is going to be a flat 10. If you roll a 14, then you will do critical damage. If you guys roll an 18 to hit him, then you will outright kill him.
Cool.
Seems a bit easy.
He's asleep. No armor.
Okay. On the count of 3.
1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
All right. I'm good.
Alright, so, Rob, you got a 15 with your attack, so you're going to do a massive amount of damage.
Oh, I get advantage too, sorry, because the shrimp is there. How about that?
Okay, so 26. You'll
How do you
outright.
distract a sleeping ogre?
I don't know.
But Sam, with Breeze, you rolled your unnatural 20 first. So, flavor it up for me, the two of you. How do you off this guy?
I mean, I'm gonna gently wake him up so that he's awake when I do it, and then I'm gonna slice his throat.
At least you have some honor.
You need to be awake for this. Die.
Well, my rapier is called a mind blade rapier, so I stick it right through his mind, in one ear, out the other ear.
Harsh. Alright, so the ogre wakes up very briefly and gives a pained whimper as you respectively slit his throat and pierce him in the brain, or the mind, one of the two. He struggles for a brief 2-3 seconds, and then he just falls, lapsed.
I sign, high five.
I do a minor illusion of a hand high-fiving.
Alright, so the rest of this room is fairly large. You can see that it seems to have been used as, I suppose, a mixture of a training room, as you can see that there are various fixtures on the wall which, though very old, might be able to hold some weapons. If revitalized, then they definitely can. You can also see some areas at the other end which seem to contain tables, so either for study or presumably for eating. It looks like this seems to be kind of all in one room.
Okay. Can I search the corpse for anything useful?
Yes, you may. Well, considering I described him before, you will be able to pick up the Oni's weapon. At the current time, it just would regard that as being a glaive, so it's a melee weapon. I don't know if you're familiar.
I'm going to leave it there. I'm not interested in a glaive.
Yep. Alright. And aside from that, you are able to find a component pouch containing the magical items that the Oni requires for his or her spellcasting. So for the most part, it's fairly useless to you, but...
Can't tell what gender they are at this stage.
Well, if you would like to roll.
What?
Don't.
No. It's just the way he's... I would have thought we would have worked out if they're male or female by the time we killed them. He said
I
he saw her
didn't-
pouch.
I didn't kill them in such a way as to find out.
They're ogres.
How dare you assume their gender? They actually have a hidden fourth gender.
Oh, really?
Fourth.
Alright, what was I saying?
The spell
So yes,
pouch.
component pouch. It is fairly tapped out, but when you open it up, you are able to find what looks like a few gold coins, an opal worth about 20 gold pieces. And where is my common magic items table? Nope, that's not it. And you are able to see that it seems to have a single spell scroll. Exactly what it has on it, I will later determine.
Okay.
Mage hand.
Pocket that.
Sorry?
I will pocket that for now in my bag, and whoever it helps the most, I will give it to
Can we come in?
later.
Alright. Can we come in now?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the door and...
Just
guys,
I
this room's a bit
messaged
clear.
I messaged them and say, come in. Quiet like.
Stop.
Alright, so you guys begin to search through the room, and you can see that there seems to be two doors leading off and further into the main structure of the guild hall itself. One, upon looking out with a very careful look, you are able to ascertain this one seems to be a courtyard. You aren't entirely sure whether there's actually anything in there, as you're being too careful to make sure you're not actually seen. But those of you who inspect over here will stop at the door, as you can hear two voices sounding.
Right. Just quickly, could I have a look at that glaive and maybe pocket it?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Cool. I'm gonna use a glaive instead of a longsword.
Getting all fancy up in here.
Yeah. Leave.
Can anyone understand what they're saying? I'm just wondering if we don't try and lure one or two of them out by pretending to be their dead friend.
I'm going to do that and use deception. Or performance through my voice.
Maybe none of us speak their language.
Well, I don't know what their language is.
Alright, so they are speaking to each other. For those of you, do any of you understand Giant?
No.
Nah.
Damn, where's Morkan when you need him?
I speak the opposite. I speak halfling.
Alright, so yes, you're unable to understand exactly what they're saying. Now, it sounds like they are fairly close to the door. If you open the door and immediately attack, you might be able to get a surprise round to try and take them out, but likewise, it could leave you guys open to an immediate reprisal.
Which door? Is this the one you're talking about?
Nope, this one.
This one.
The one with 4 pulses on it, apparently.
But Trim's up here. Can he see that there's... Is that 2 of them in there?
Solturum is able to, from his previous explorations through the window, can confirm that there are 2 in this particular one. Trimp going invisibly. Roll me a active stealth to see if you can open the door without notifying them.
Him? Right. That should be interesting. Here we go.
Alright, so Trimp rolls a 16. So that is going to be a success and he'll be able to peer in. Do you want to flavour that up at all?
He sticks his little claw in the lock and goes... and gently pushes it open and sticks his ugly noggin through the small area that he's left, and quickly has a peek around and messages me, just two, boss. Although they're big fuckers.
Yeah, it occurred to me that they have large stat blocks, so I should probably alter that.
Yep. My suggestion, chaps, is that we know there are 2 in this room, and we should knock them off rather than go into a room where we think there is at least 2.
Right, yeah, you do have a point there.
Oh.
Don't mind me, I'm just manipulating.
I was a bit confused.
Big back alive.
He's under the bed now?
We have to hide his body somehow.
Right.
Non-suspectly.
So I suggest we go and attack these motherfuckers.
I
Motherfuckers.
think that's wise.
Sounds good.
We could draw them into the courtyard and maybe get a surprise on them.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
That way we don't ruin the nice furnishings.
Yeah.
How will we do this without alerting the rest of them?
Well, we could just drop a bottle.
No, but we get.
Bottle.
But won't the at least 2 in the other room hear all this?
I assume, yeah, the fighting will be loud.
Maybe.
Well, at least they'll have to take a while to get to our location anyway.
Why don't we set a trap at the door, at the only way in? That way, if they do hear us while we're fighting the other ones...
Yeah, caltrops. Let's put some caltrops here and ball bearings.
Does
And then
anyone
we
have
could do-
silence?
Ooh, silence is a good idea. Do we have it though?
I do not. I'm more about noise, as you'd be aware.
Oh, yeah.
Put more traps here as well, just to make it twice as hard to get to us. Or
Why
in
not?
here.
Why not? Yeah. Okay, and then let's all move in.
Okay, let's sneak through the door. I'll go put some ball bearings over here. I'll sneak over here and put ball bearings at the front of the door,
Yeah.
where they were.
I put caltrops as well.
Oh, let's see if we can find the ball bearings again. Okay, so they're going there, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
In that case, I might cast. Where is it? Is it Entangle? No, it's not Entangle. It's Spike Growth. Where is it? Okay.
Sam, can I use my surprisingly high survival to try and make the caltrops, work them into a bit more of a trap that might do even more damage?
Ooh. You know what? I am willing for you to try and allow that.
You are, dear boy.
He's Kevin McAllistering it.
Oh,
Pretty good.
Alright, so you have taken the time, as far as things go, to ensure that your caltrops are pretty much as good as they can be, at least with a short period of time. Unfortunately, with a 16, it's not going to be enough to upgrade them further.
But yes, I'm also going to cast Spike Growth. I'll probably put it in there when we all walk in, after we're all in that section. Wonderful. Yes, I'll put it at this door once we're all in the room.
Cool.
That way, and it'll be a 20-foot area. Yeah.
I'm going to try and hide behind the bush for when we ambush as well.
Wait, did you say 20-foot area?
It is. It's a 20-foot area.
Jesus. Alright, give me a sec.
It's just 4 squares.
No, each square is 5 feet, so it's like that.
Wow, that's a lot bigger than I thought.
Yep. That's why I'm
Wow.
like, wait, what?
Every 5 feet they travel, they're going to take 2d4 damage.
You
so-
could put it on the inside, couldn't you? In here.
Yeah, maybe put it on the inside. I guess that way the wood is now spiky.
Yeah, they're gonna have the shits.
They should be all torn up and hopping around because their feet are all fuckled.
Alright, so you guys are going to be going for this group first, or whoever's on the other side of this door?
Yeah.
This group.
Can I see through that gap that Trimp made?
I'm going to say yes.
Cool. I'm gonna cast Hex through that, so I don't have to use a bonus action.
Alright. Luke F. with Solturum, were you doing anything in particular?
no. I am going to hang back over here somewhere.
Yep.
So,
Oh, that's Hex.
It doesn't actually do any damage until I hit them.
I can't move my character without the whole screen moving. It's an issue. But
Let's refresh, maybe.
yeah. We'll see how that goes.
I discovered apparently if you pan, you can pan just by holding down the space bar, but apparently it works in reverse for me.
Yeah, that's better.
Damn, I'm just trying to hide so I can help ambush them. Badly.
Badly compared to whom? That's a 16 in stealth.
Compared to me.
Yeah, it's most of the party.
That's true.
I am going to hide as well behind the bush where I am hiding.
And also, oh my god, I didn't realize it. Oh. That's very long.
A little bit. Conjuring an animal, you say?
Yes, 2 direwolves.
Bork. Let's have a look. Dire wolf. Let's see if we can find anything quite as traumatizing as that other thing.
What about
Yeah,
a giant wasp? That'd be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
Okay, I kind of want to do this one just because it gives me like Tim Burton flashbacks.
I'm in the hunter shop, man.
I just want to please you, so what are you guys talking about?
Oh yeah, that's very Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, that's cool. What's I gonna say? I don't know.
A die was large or?
I've got the stat block up for them. I think they're just medium. Oh no, they're a large beast.
They're large? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Alright, there we go.
Crowded in this courtyard.
I was gonna say, just keep them in the small box. That's fine.
Bark, bark.
Guys, I need names for them.
The first one's called Mark because it's got a hair lip.
Yeah.
Mark.
In that way, I flipped them around so we know.
And then one's dark because he's black.
Yeah, Dark and Mark.
Mark and dark.
If they die, we'll have to say fuck. Okay.
You guys good?
I think we're ready.
Initiative, what do you want?
How are we going to lure them out through the door?
I'll just say something.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, Sam, one last thing. Is it possible to jam this door in some way? The other door?
If you would like to, you can definitely try. Do you have any particular ideas, or?
I think I've got like in my equipment, I've got like an iron spike, I think. So I can maybe try and spike the door.
Might be noisy.
Mm.
True. Because I just think whatever we do to lure them out, like, is also going to lure out the other two.
Unless you push it in under the door and it acts like a doorstop. But whether it's worthwhile.
Spike growth's all here, right? 20 feet here.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Here and then, yeah, but
Could be right.
Yeah, let's lure them out. Sorry.
With my performance and telling stories and tales and using things like that, would I know any words of giant?
Morkan. Let's say Morkan taught you a couple of swears.
Apparently
Maybe
not,
phrases.
but I'm willing to let you roll a history check to find out.
Okay. This will be fun. He's +1.
A 9. You recall some of the swear words that Morkan might have muttered here and there, but that...
Okay, cool.
At least you assume that they're swear words. You just heard him muttering this one word a lot, but it actually turns out to be the giant word for union.
Okay.
The giants burst out saying, "Comrade!"
Yes, I'm going to cast... I'm not going to cast. I'm going to do performance to try and sneak them out. And say, union. Even though I'm saying fuck or something. I don't know.
Your mother's a whore.
Oh,
Halfling 1.
Wow. 14. All right. So, regardless, it looks like their passive perception is exactly 14. So, their attention is drawn, they suddenly silent, and you guys can hear a rapid movement as they begin to head towards the door. All right. This one will open the door, and I'm assuming you guys would like to do your prepared actions from here.
Yep, I'm going to stab the fucker.
All right. Hit me.
I prefer to hit him. Did you want reaction? Do you want see who goes first?
Initiative.
Yeah, if you guys... Yep, sorry, we'll do that. Everybody roll into initiative.
Oh, chaos.
Let's roll again, right? That's a 1.
Does somebody have initiative at advantage?
Me.
Yeah, okay, go you.
I have a rapier of warning.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry, I just don't see people doing it at advantage all that often. Alright, so Norloth. I think that is you. Norloth has an initiative of 7. Wait, 12.
12 was rolled to us.
Yeah, sorry, double rolled.
Alright. And Breeze got an initiative of 6. Where is Breeze?
Do I get to roll again for the halfling one, or does that not count for initiative?
I mean, you can if you want, but honestly, it's initiative.
Well, I did because I got a 23. It's probably a little more handy.
Wait, you did? Where? Oh,
Yeah, I'm on the order.
scroll down. It helps if I scroll down. All right, and Rithgar got a 24. That is Rithgar.
The 22 without advantage.
Wow, Rithgar is actually in the lead. Go you. Soltorum, on the other hand, you got a 16.
It's my highest initiative ever.
Mazel tov!
And who am I missing?
Will.
Oh, yep, Will. Who got an 8?
I'm not going last for once.
Now you say that. All right.
Just you wait.
And for our beloved ogre, wow, okay, they got a 3.1. Don't know how that works, but okay.
Okay.
All right.
Are my wolves just going on the same turn? Cause
Yes, they will.
Yeah, okay, cool.
All right, first up is Rithgar.
I dart forward, Shadowblade in hand, and stab them twice.
Stabby stab.
Rapier.
And dice everywhere. That is a nat 20. I'm assuming you would like to store that?
Yes, please.
And now you're coming equal second with Luke E. Alright, let's have a look here. So total amount of damage is going to be 14 plus that, 26. Double that to 52. And double that again. Okay, so 64 damage on this guy. Do you want to provide any flavor for it?
As the door opens, I explode forth, yelling, screaming, "Die, heretic!" and slash deeply into his chest before using my reaction to bounce backwards and get back round the corner.
Yep.
To disengage and get back around the corner, out of sight.
Excellent. Wait, so you got 2 attacks or just the one?
I get 2 attacks on my first round because I'm a magic ranger.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so the first one is fine. The second one, unfortunately, just bounces off of the guy. In this case, I want to say that he takes the first slash, but the second one, he is barely able to dodge. All right, is that it for your turn?
That's it, yeah.
Yep. All right, go for Breeze.
I will pop out of the bushes and I will fire my short bow. I assume I miss with 13.
That is correct. All right, how do you miss?
My fingers slip on the string and I end up hitting the wall next to
Sure,
it.
you don't have advantage. You've got Shrimp right next to him, and me.
Providing the help function, or?
Yes, Shrimp is always helping in combat.
Okay.
He's good like that.
Until the first time you managed to roll a nat 1 and accidentally shoot Trimp.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
Well, then I do 23 damage, and I don't slip on the string. I just shoot an arrow right into his chest.
You had this weird moment where you thought you slipped your finger on the string, but then it didn't actually happen. You're a bit confused.
Trip just picks up your arrow and stabs the Oni with it.
Trimp is actually a monk and just mid-air just redirects the arrow to where it needs to be. All right, and that's it for your turn, or you have a second?
I am going to use my action to hide again behind the bushes.
Yep.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Tinkrit.
Tinkrit, because he's a halfling, can move into the space, so he's got 5 foot around them, so he can actually attack both at once. And he's going to use slashing, the slashing, the flourish, so that he can get them. So I'll just click off one of my bardic inspirations, and I will attack. And I get advantage. Get advantage. Can you roll again, please? Oh, holy shit. Does it miss or hit?
Misses, surprisingly.
Okay, so that's my first attack. Second attack.
Is a hit.
I'll just try again for critical. 1 second. No, that's definitely not a critical. Okay, so he does 8. I take away 4 because the hex blade's curse is not on him. 15, 23 plus 2d8 for green flame blade and 1d8 for the slashing flourish. Another 14 and d6 for the hex on him.
How do you do green flame blade if you've got 2 attacks?
Green flame blade is every attack, isn't it?
No, it's just a spell.
Oh, I've always done that.
Isn't Green Flame Blade a cantrip and you can only do it on one of the attacks?
Oh.
It should only be you do that with the attack, so casting that would only allow you to do 1 attack.
Yeah.
But does it proc if I don't hit?
Yeah, because you're still casting the spell on that attack.
Yeah, because it's part of an action and you must use the melee attack with a weapon against one creature within the spell's range.
I don't think you can even multi-attack with that.
No, it's just on one attack.
Target hit.
But you're spending the action casting the spell, not actually using the attack action.
not actually-
No, it's
not
part
an
of the
action.
attack.
It's not an action.
Yeah, so it's when you attack.
Part of the action used to cast a spell, you must make a melee attack with this weapon against one creature with the spell's range, otherwise the spell fails. On a hit, the target suffers. Second creature takes fire damage. It doesn't say you can only cast it once. It says on an
Yeah,
attack.
but you're using your action to cast the spell.
But it's not an action. There's no action. Oh, no, it is. Casting
bonus
time, one
action.
action.
Yeah, so that's not actually using the attack action, so you wouldn't even get multi-attack.
Oh, that sucks. Alright, no Green Flame Blade then. So he gets one additional 1d8.
And Rob's like, you just halved my damage output.
Not
And
half.
Michael learnt not to ask questions.
Where's my thanks, Sam?
We have to go back and remove all those d8s.
So 1d8. It's only 1d8 from the slashing flourish. So that's
Alright.
5. And then the d6.
So which one are you hitting? This one or the top one?
Well, because it's slashing flourish, I get both.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, in that case, you...
Wait.
Sorry?
Wait. There's still a d6. Which is from Hex. So that's, yes, my second attack. So it was on him, and he only got the d8 from the slashing.
So this one?
No, the other guy... This guy got the full attack. Sorry, this guy got the full attack.
Yep.
This guy got the d8, plus he gets the +5 from Hex.
Okay.
So 13.
All right. How would you like to kill this one?
He gets impaled upwards.
Oh, look, I've been impaled.
And then I move forward to the next dude.
Alrighty.
The haste-based attack.
So if anybody watching as Tinkrit takes on this 9 to 10 foot tall ogre, you almost get the sensation of somebody yelling timber as the ogre begins to wobble back and forth before eventually slamming face down, pretty much barely avoiding Tinkrit onto the pavement of the courtyard.
You know what? I had Yoda in in the Phantom Menace, that fight scene at the end with Count Dooku in my mind.
I should do an acrobatics roll while I'm at it, huh? Okay.
27 will hit, yes.
And so slashing flourish just gives him an extra D8.
I'm like, where does that extra attack come from? I forgot you were hasted.
Yeah. D8 and a D6. So move the hex to him for a total of 1 point. And because I'm a swashbuckler, I go, copy later. And Shrimp moves closer to him so other people can get advantage.
All right. So after the offensive explosion
Wait,
that is Tinkrit...
There's more. There's more.
Oh, God.
The Shield Guardian is going to belt in.
Forgot about that one. Yep.
He gets 2 attacks. 50 attacks.
Sam begins to write down, do not give Tinkrit any more pets.
Find way to kill Tinkrit's pet.
He misses with his first one. And misses with his second one.
All right. So, yep, Shield Guardian just basically slams into the ogre, who pretty much looks down and at the Shield Guardian with a look of, what are you even doing? I'm sure that the Shield Guardian is probably not computing right now. All right. You're done now then, Rob?
Yes.
Okay. So where you currently are, I'm assuming your characters just decide to dangle himself in the well.
Yeah, he's a swashbuckler. He's like standing up there with one hand on his hip, going, "Ha ha!"
All right.
You describe it as dangling in a well because that sounds like a euphemism for. I
Yes.
don't even know.
Well, he's kind of there, standing on top of the thing.
Y'all are nasty. All right. Norloth.
Yeah, I actually got a turn. Guess I'll just cast Hex on that guy, and then I'll just blast him twice.
All right. You have direct line of sight, surprisingly. Like a perfectly exact line of sight.
Almost like I put myself there for the wrong reason.
Almost.
Dude,
Wow. Really?
why are you so unlucky with your Eldritch Blasts?
He's got advantage. He's got advantage.
That's true, that's true.
And no, still.
26.
All right. So the first.
24.
Sorry. So the first one was a 26. That is going to hit for 9 force damage. And then the second one is a 24 for 4 force damage. Wow.
And then 2d6 for Hex.
Okay, so that's 9 plus, 13, and 22 damage in total. Flavor it up for me. What goes on?
His hands just glow purple, and then he thrusts them towards it and just shoots a beam of purple light. Or 2 beams of purple light at him. Barely missing the shield guy.
Pew, pew, pew. Fair enough. All right, and that's it for your turn?
Yep.
All right. Will.
I think Ciruimon was supposed to have a turn. I don't think he did.
Yeah, sorry, I was wondering what was happening there.
Oh, sorry. Yep, Salturum. Herp de derp derp.
Alright, and move over here so I get a direct line of sight. Whoops. Don't want to be doing that. So I get a direct line of sight, and I'm going to cast a Firebolt, which should do 22 damage.
22, and that's an 18. That is going to definitely hit. Alright, anything special for your description?
I stand next to my fellow sorcerer and conjure two glowing red balls in my hand and fling them at the Oni. And they rip through the air and slam into his chest.
Yeah.
Or her chest, or
Its chest.
their chest.
We'll go for male.
Mm.
Alright. So, as the fireball slams through the air and pretty much sets across a wave of fire directly around, firebolt I should say, and heats up that particular room a little bit hotter, the Oni in question just kind of looks down in complete and utter shock before dropping to the ground.
Oh, death. Alright.
Nice.
Rest in peace.
Well done, Norla.
Yeah.
It was a good team effort there, Tinkrit.
Rip.
Okay, can we hear anything else from the, perhaps where the other Oni were?
You do not hear any sounds coming from this general area.
Like while that entire fight was happening, Will was just there playing with the two wolves. He had no. He's like, "Oh, you guys can do it." Just playing them.
Good boys.
Who's a good boy? Who wants belly wubs?
Playing fetch.
I just
Yeah.
said good boy too loud and woke my dog up.
Alright.
Alright, what are we going to do now, guys? I think we should search the room.
We should
Yeah,
make
I
a lot of
agree.
noise and get the
That's what I'm saying.
Onis to come through here before the spike growth goes.
Yeah, because that courtyard looks like the perfect place to drop a fireball.
I'll start. Anyone got some pots and pans? Just start banging on them.
I'm going to search the bodies. What are you doing?
Is
Is there any windows along this wall?
No.
Oh, hang on. I'll just get the wolves to howl. That's probably pretty loud.
Yeah, good idea.
Mark, Dark. Give it a go. Let them know let them know we're here.
Roll me performance for your puppers.
Go on. They don't have
Do
a
they
performance.
do they
for
give
that.
each other advantage?
I think it's only attack rolls.
Pack tactics and howling, man.
Wow. Okay, so a 3.
Hang
And
on.
what did the other one get?
There's two of them.
I'm going to try and do that too. To cover their shitness.
One's a bit better. I think
Maybe-
Mark not so great
There
at
you go. How about that?
Howling.
Imitate a wolf.
Maybe they just like looked at you with contempt there because they're direwolves, they're not Labradors. They don't perform on command.
So one just gives you a look and is like, a woo.
Have you seen that video of the husky? They're like shh shh, and he just goes woof. He literally just pronounces woof.
Yeah, that's what I read it like a little while ago. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I assume that's just what they do.
Both of them harumph. Alright, so Tinkrit, on the other hand, picks up the slack and manages to release a very lifelike howling, to the point that even the wolves look at him in complete startlement. And in return, you guys can hear a quick exchange of conversation between two more Onis before there is a loud slamming noise and then yelping as they walk into the spikes over here. How much damage is that going to be again, Michael?
Not me. But I think the answer is 2d6.
The caltrops.
D4?
The caltrops.
I think I had it up there earlier on. Somewhere.
That takes
Where
1
is it?
piercing damage. There we go.
Slows them down, does all the nasty things.
Okay, give me a sec.
I take 1 piercing damage.
Then they have to make DC 13 dex saves to not fall over in the ball bearings.
Well,
Shouldn't they just keep tripping?
the first one fails, so he just immediately... You guys hear a thwump as he hits the ground, enough that it resonates into here. The other one, you hear a strange cackling noise and a bit more of a silence before the two of them continue their running out.
It's a DC 15 for the caltrops, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Not
So
15.
there's 2 thumps if that's the case. Thwump, thwump. So not going to be any hilarious cackling. It's just going to be rambling at each other. Alright, so it takes another minute before pretty much just... At this point, I'm assuming this is a comedy skit where there's another thump. And then as they presumably come across the dead body of their companion, you can hear yells. They open the door and immediately step out into the spike patch.
When they do that, can I cast this? Oh, wait, that's not...
Hunger of Hadar. DC 19. Holy crap. They're probably not going to pass this one. Alright, that is a 9 followed by a 12. They both fail. So, spell flavor. You open a gateway to the dark between stars, a region infested with unknown horrors. A 20-foot radius sphere of dark blackness and bitter cold appears centered on a point within range. Where would you like to center
where
this?
that spike growth is.
Exactly where it is. Alright.
One to the left, maybe.
You might as well just have it. Yeah, but then who's that? They're in it.
Me.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
bad.
me.
You would have had a chance to move with all their chase and running.
Let's see what happens when I type in void.
Hang on, just get some freehand. We'll go black and just have a bit of a scribble.
Woof!
There you go.
Is that the
Very
handle?
artistic. It looks like a poor Batman outline.
How big is
Looks like-
it? 20
looks
foot
like
radius. Okay, it's going to be the exact same. I don't even know what's in that thing. Just pretend that there's nothing in that black circle.
Okay, there's nothing in that black circle.
Well,
Excellent.
the Omnis are dead. Let's move on.
Oh, no, there they are.
They've opened a portal, I yell.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for spikes, spike growth.
3d4 per 5 feet. That movement.
Okay, so they would move a total of 10 feet. So I'm going to say that's going to be 4d4.
Yeah.
That's going to be per thing. 4d4.
It's also difficult terrain.
Okay, so 9 each damage. Alright, and now we can roll the damage for what's his face for the Hodar thing. Hunger of Hadar. Any creature that starts to turn in the area.
Hadar the Horrible.
Yeah, that one.
Just one.
You're getting into Sam territory with that one, mate.
It ends up, isn't it 46? Because it's 2d6 cold and
2d6 when they enter, 2d6 every turn they're in there, and 2d6 at the start of the turn.
Right.
It's a weird one. So as long as we keep them in there, they're fucked.
Yeah. Get
All
them
right.
out.
So because of their movement, they're going to have to end their turn there. So that's going to take 2d6 damage. Where the heck did you find this spell?
So they need to make the deck save now.
Yep. 5 and a 12. Again, they both fail. So 2d6 against them. I like that description. Any creature that ends its turn in the area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take acid damage as milky, otherworldly tentacles rub against it.
Yeah, great.
Ew.
Yep.
Ew, ew, ew. What is it? Ew.
The hunger of
Well, that
hentai.
All our characters are just watching
I
this.
don't know where this is going.
Yes.
So these are go Onis, right?
No.
Let's just stop. This is going. This is.
I didn't say it.
You didn't even say it right.
Whatever podcasting service we're on is just going to ban us in a sec.
We're never getting sponsored.
Sam, you're spelling it wrong.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right. So they end their turn there, and they're taking damage. All right. So that pretty much brings us out of the bonus round that I'm going to give you guys again, and let's restart with Rithgar.
Am I Am I in a position to hide where I am?
Where are you? There?
Behind the well.
You can possibly duck beneath the lip of the well, or throw yourself in the well, kind of your call.
Can I use that as a bonus action and then ready my actual action to stab them if they come past? Because I feel like charging into the abyss wouldn't be wise.
It's the demon abyss running that.
Yeah.
All right, I yell, "Back to hell with you!" and charge in.
Oh, really? You're crazy, bro.
That's his character.
So, what save do I need to fail?
Dexterity?
I don't think it's a save to start with. It's save it at the end of your turn.
Do I just take damage as I charge in?
No, surprisingly. If you start your turn there, you'll take 2d6, but if you end your turn here, you'll take 2d6 acid. And don't forget you're also jumping across spikes as well now, so...
Well, he didn't start his turn in there, so he doesn't take the cold damage, and hopefully he'll disengage, so he doesn't end there.
Do I need to take any checks then?
Dexterity for the spikes, I believe.
No, it's not. It's just per movement.
Oh, okay.
There's no check for it.
Okay, sorry. In that case, I'll hit him.
Well, apparently you're...
I'm going to use my 16. So, ages and ages ago, I rolled my... It's not precognition, it's...
Portent.
Portent, that's it.
Portent, thank you, sorry. I rolled a 16 and a 3. I'm going to use my 16 to hit it once.
Yep.
So...
So rolling damage. There we go. Alright.
22.
22 damage. I'm going to say on the nearest one. Alright. Any flavor for that? I'm assuming at this point you're just flailing wildly until you actually hit someone.
Yep, and then I'm disengaging behind the direwolf.
Yep. Direwolf, protect me. Alright.
Oh, sorry. That might actually only be 10 damage, sorry, because I don't think I'd get my sneak attack, would I?
Sorry, say again. Say that one again.
Sorry, I just don't know if I get sneak attack, is all.
I would count it as a sneak attack because they can't really see you.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. And that's me. Done.
Alright. Breeze.
Shoot. Sorry, there's another D8. Sorry, Sam.
Damn it. And that's a 2. Alright. Now Breeze.
Breeze is going to cast Shadow Blade.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to throw it at the one on the left-hand side. Right here.
Yep.
I'll just make a normal melee.
At least where you assume he still is.
Well, if it's is he in magical darkness? Is that what it is?
I think yes. Open a gateway.
I have a
20-foot radius sphere of darkness and bitter cold. Yeah.
I have advantage on that then with Shadow Blade. I roll twice. I just have to do it with a normal melee attack, I think. That's a 24 hit.
24 is indeed a hit.
Where did it pop up? I'll just take the 22. So it does 18 piercing plus the 9, 18 sneak plus the 9 psychic.
Alright. 27 damage in total. Perfect. Do you want to flavor that up at all?
Yeah, I guess just like the bell says. He weaves together a thread of shadow to create a sort of solidified gloom in his hand, and then he sort of just hurls it into the darkness, knowing that it'll be strike true. Yeah,
Perfect. All right, and you're done?
that's it.
All right, everybody, Tinkrit is about to do his turn, so go to the bathroom, get water, replenish the cups of tea, while Rob rolls all his dice.
Good idea. I'm going to make a cup of tea.
I'm going to move in there as well. Taking so long. What is that? Oh, it's a hit. I get advantage. I'm going to try again. Oh, I get to roll that.
So 16 followed by a nat 1, which you get to re-roll because you're a jerk. Followed by a 19 instead. Both hit.
Ignore the +4, but it does get a green flame blade.
25.
And add a slashing flourish. It's one of those. That goes to the last 2 damages. Oh, hang on, I got to roll d6. The hex, which I moved to them. So,
I'll put it this way, Rob. You're going to be able to kill both of them.
Okay, sorry. All right, they're dead. Cool.
Flavor it up for us. What happens while you're in the deep, dark, cold void?
I decide to cut off their toes because their feet have been have suffered terrible damage, but not quite enough for my liking. I want to see them fall down like timber into these spikes, and nimbly dodge out of the way, as they do.
Alrighty.
Face first.
All right. So
the gooey, milky tentacles.
Yes, the gooey, milky, acidic tentacles.
Yes.
Which is such an uncomfortable statement.
Yes, it is.
All right. So, after you guys have gone through and Solturum has eventually dismissed his magical portal thing, you guys are able, and after exploring the rest of the guild, you have been able to figure out that you have managed to completely clear out the guild hall and in its entirety. You guys pretty much have this entire property to do with as you would like.
I guess I'll dismiss my wolves then. That didn't do anything.
Whence they came.
They defied you. They said woof.
Yeah, so
I was talking about the Oni, not the wolves.
you're welcome for my 44 damage that entire fight, guys. That is all I did.
Aw, you helped. Come on.
It's not your job anymore.
I didn't do anything.
Could have got angry.
Now you
I
don't
didn't get a turn.
Did you not? Oh, because you summoned.
No, I summoned before the fight, and then you guys killed them before my first turn, and then the other guys came in, and you guys killed them before my next turn. And I'm just like, okay.
Olga's like, see, it ain't so easy, is it?
You did slow them down, though. No.
That's alright, I don't mind.
Alright, so you guys have now been able to capture the guild hall. So like I said, it is a fairly expansive area which is its own wall, which can hypothetically be fixed for any particular gaps and patches, but most importantly it contains a fairly large common area with enough places for training if you would be so inclined, storage, as well as enough rooms that you can actually have your own bedrooms again if you are so inclined. So you may need to cover your comings and goings from this place, but aside from that, if you would like to set up an outpost here, you are more than capable of doing so.
Nice. Search the bodies, search the rooms.
Tinker, while you're doing that, I have the stone to inform the young Jarl and the...
We've got more than 2.
Do I have one? Oh, alright, I'll have one. Alright, I inform the young Jarl that we have successfully captured and cleared the guild hall of the ogres that had infested it, and are making it a forward operating base for the assault on the keep.
All right. So you don't receive much of a reply as you can. It seems that most of the reply is actually coming from Solheim himself. Basically, it doesn't. From Solheim, it counts as a pretty much a good job, nice work thing. You can hear the rambling of the prince in the background, who seems a little bit more put out that you're capable of doing this after your let's say, reticence to want to go along with his catacombs idea, but it does now present you guys with another opportunity. You do hear Solheim simply mention that the other teams have yet to come back, though, but considering they only left about an hour or so ago, I suppose it's not much to be expected. If you would like to return to the main headquarters, you're more than possible. Otherwise, you can also head over to the catacombs to reinforce their operation there.
Can you display the other room on Roll20?
Sorry?
The other room.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's nothing fancy. Oh, no, that is to make it dark again. Reveal.
Ooh.
Don't take this map as the final map. This is just the one that I pulled up.
All right. I have quite serious concerns about the competence of the rest of the party to be able to clear that catacomb. I think we should go get them some help.
Yeah, as do I.
Place is infested with devils.
Yes, yes, it is.
Hence, Ruth go, or we need to go there immediately?
Alright, so Solheim takes a quick moment. You hear him muttering to the prince before he very calmly says, I think that might be best. If you are able to find the team, then the quicker we are able to clear out the catacombs and determine whether it can actually be excavated for the prince's plan, then I suppose all the better. If not, then just come back as soon as you are able.
You hear Breeze yell, Plan B in the background.
Alright, so you guys want to just immediately move on to the catacombs?
No, search the bodies, search the rooms, and then immediately.
Yep.
So kind of semi or almost immediately.
Okay. So, the Onis don't really have much in the way of belongings, living in a long abandoned city over 1,000 years. The most that you're really able to find are some rough weapons that they seem to have between them, but they do, however, look to have a decently good armor. So, at this point, they each have 4. You are able to locate 5 chainmails, as well as another glaive and 2 long swords and 1 short sword over the course of your investigation. That's what I'm looking for.
Hey, cool. Sam, if I read that spell scroll, can I identify what spell it is on it at all?
You may be able to. I might need to roll on a random table. Let's have a look. Oh god. That was way too complicated. Alright, go to the all classes section. Yep. Okay, roll me... Actually, I can just do that. I'm going to give you a level 1 spell. 1d67. That is a 61. Oh, really? Alright, so the spell scroll that you have picked up is a spell scroll of sleep.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
At what level?
Level 1.
That's pretty shit.
If you know the spell, you may be able to supercharge the spell as well, but kind of your call. Won't lie, I was not expecting to actually give out a spell scroll. I'm bad with that. Alright.
Just out of curiosity, the glaives or anything, the weapons aren't magical, are they?
The Onis, when it's held by the Onis, it is a magical weapon. If you or one of your comrades is willing to help you out and you roll higher than an unnatural 20, then I will allow them to be a magical item, which have been reinforced through the Oni blood. Tempered by the Oni blood, so as you would say.
Unnatural
So is
20
that
in
Arcana?
Arcana?
Or?
In Arcana, yep.
Yeah, I'm
I've
shit
got a
at
plus
that.
7.
I got a
Plus-
+5.
I got +8.
I'm not helping here. Unless I
What
do.
is that?
Hang on, you can
Yeah.
have a bardic inspiration. It's a D8.
Give it to Rithka, I guess, if he's got a +8.
Yeah.
Alright, hit me up, Michael. Let's see if you can empower this glaive with Oni properties. The Oni blade.
He's leaving us all in suspense.
Ooh.
Michael, are you there?
Oh, sorry. Hello. Hi. My headset just died at the exact wrong moment.
Oh, okay. Yep, roll us Arcana. $24. All right. So, Rithgar is going to be able to successfully empower the glaive with the properties of the Oni, making it a magical weapon. Flavor it up for me, Michael. How and do you do so?
Probably by accident, because I'm mostly trying to purge the demonic energy that floods through this fell weapon, and in the process of just sort of blasting it with holy power, maybe I infuse it instead with holy energy instead by mistake.
Got it. All right. Since you're the one creating it, does that create any changes to the weapon itself visually?
Maybe it glows. Casts off a dim light, maybe.
Yep.
When goblins are nearby.
Or when devils are nearby, so constantly.
Bullet and the police.
I told
That
you
just-
he's not a fiend.
Alrighty. So, with the preparations in mind, and I assume Will very happy with his new weapon, you guys head over to the nearest entrance of the catacombs. So, would you guys like to do more stealth checks to ensure that you aren't detected outside?
Sure.
Yep. Quick thing, do these Onis have horn?
Let me look at the flavor. That doesn't tell me.
Can we harvest them?
Yeah.
I don't think Onis have horns, but they have very sharp claws.
Number 4 for me.
Wow, go you.
Catching fast.
Wait, are we stealthing?
We're rolling stealth as the party again.
Don't worry, I think
No,
my
I didn't fuck
33.
it.
My 33 had you covered
Yay.
anyway.
Well done, Luke. Oh, Addison.
Oh,
Why, Addison, that looks like a nat 1.
yeah.
Nope, 7.
Guys, I'm not having a good session tonight.
So, would you like that used, Addison, or would you like that stored?
I think I'll use it, because there's a nat 20 at play here too.
It's true. Oh, alright. What to do here? Just trying to think. And a nat 1.
Just Breeze and Tinkrit have 60 in stealth.
Alright. Sam, I'm going to leave this one up to you. If you provide me good enough flavor that I go, okay, yeah, that's cool, that's awesome, I will allow your nat 20 here to cancel out Addison's nat 1.
Talk about putting the pressure on me.
Yep.
Alright, so
I'm just going to let you know, Will's probably still chatting with the wolves. We're very loud.
okay, I guess I'm going to turn around and I'm going to just mouth, "Are you serious?" And then I'm going to walk over and I'm going to be like pointing to the ground and I'm going to be like, "See that broken bottle? You don't want to step on that again. See those twigs over there? You don't want to step on that either. These are the things you avoid. Come on, mate."
I bring my hand up into as a mouth gesture and go, "Nyeh, nyeh, 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 nyeh."
One of the wolves intentionally goes out of its way to step on first the bottle and then the twig.
So the wolf, this fucking guy.
With that, have I learnt? I wish I learnt sleep because I'd use it now.
You have that scroll.
Pulls out scroll, wallops both of the wolves on their nose with it.
Yeah.
All right. Not good enough to cancel out the one. So, what can I do from here? You have wolves. You're being very loud. They're just normal dire wolves.
Brand new glowing glaive. Which I'm probably raving on about.
All right. So, the direwolves, apparently already sick of the topic of your glaive, do probably the worst possible thing for you. And one suddenly bumps against you, causing you to stumble very briefly, but enough that the other one leaps through the air, snatches your glaive up, and then promptly runs off with it.
Fucking shit.
So, the ensuing chase is incredibly loud and very boisterous. And
Sheer Benny Hill.
very Benny Hill. And pretty much everyone, including Solturum, which is probably the biggest hint that you should know that you've done messed up, pretty much spend the entire time looking incredibly incredulous and then eventually just giving into the, okay, yep, this is happening, we can't stop this, it's a train wreck, let's keep watching. Of Will chasing these wolves. Now, for whatever reason or whatever goes on, the wolves seem to reach a natural tether away from their summoned master, and there is a sudden yipping noise as both of them abruptly disappear, taking your glaive with them.
Right. Fucking hell. These fucking marking fucking bark. Fucking useless pieces of shit. Fucking.
This is why we can't have nice things, man.
Right. Hey, Rifka, do you reckon we can go back and get another one? I'm gonna take that.
No.
No, right, okay.
I just feel sorry for Norloth and Solturum, who actually made good stealth checks for probably the first and only time in their existence.
Hey,
totally fucked up.
I'm casting invisibility on myself and flying back to the catacombs entrance.
while he's saying, "Hey, Rithka, can we go back and get one?" I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to make a hand that's kind of like talking back at him, like he did to me.
You know what? I used to like you, Breeze. Fucking, you're on your limit. You're on thin ice, mate.
Fucking twat.
Absolute fucking wanker.
All right, I'm annoyed now. Underlings, that's enough of that sort of behaviour. Let us move on to the catacombs.
Hey, what's that? What'd you call me? Underling. Alright, who wants to unionise? That's it.
I'm so tempted to cast Lightning Lure and pull you towards me so I can give you a good talking to.
Alright. So, I will hold off on any you guys being noticed effects until next time. For now, you guys are able to finally get to the catacomb, and as you begin to enter in, you notice that the catacomb itself seems to be very silent, much more than you would be expecting for there to be an active task force here at the moment.
Does everyone have dark vision?
I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
I do not. William does not have dark vision, but I will just turn into an owl or rat or something that does.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
You're holding us back today, Will.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you are not going to be MVP. Let me just say that.
Oh, don't worry. I did not think I would be.
Tinker, do you remember that guy who used to have more Khan?
Yeah. Yes, the +4 to save.
I'm starting to miss that. I'm starting to miss that guy.
Did damage in fights.
That was a low blow, guys.
So, Will, what were you saying about unions before? It piqued my interest.
Yeah. To be honest with you, did we even sign up for this, or?
Trimp just sidles up next to you, Breeze, and subtly hands you a brochure.
Oh, look, I think Tinker, if memory serves me correctly, union membership tends to make you a tad flammable, doesn't it?
It does. It does indeed. And often quite dead.
Yeah. However, being part of a union, I think generally there's a fair amount of bears and things involved. Don't know if you want to be messing with them.
That brochure just got a photo of Olga and Morkan on the front of it.
giving a thumbs up.
Tinkrit hears this talk of unionisation and starts to get a little bit grumpy. And he says, did I not win gold, a large sum of gold, and share it equally amongst our party? Did I do that or not?
Yeah, but
Pretty
it's not
sure
just-
I did most of the work anyway.
Surely
When
you
did that
jest,
happen?
sir.
It's not the money; it's how you treat us.
Yeah.
Underlings, minions. What is this?
You
more
are
about
employees of the Ciruimon and Tinkrit, Bardinus Adventuring and Trading Company.
I don't remember signing
If
nothing.
you work hard enough and stay, you will gain partnership, as Ciruimon has. If you do not work hard enough and you constantly agitate, then I think you will find you will not get the rewards that you deserve.
Anyone hearing the word mutiny?
No, but my hands have turned an interesting colour of orange.
I start to get a bit furry.
Mine's starting to turn purple.
I love agreement negotiations. All right, enough of this palaver. Let's find out why the catacombs, which supposedly has an entire troop of barbarians running through it, is so deathly silent.
They're already dead.
Yeah, that seems to be the obvious answer, but
Yes.
we need
Trim.
to go in there and work that out.
All right. So you guys have arrived at the catacombs, which is probably one of the oldest parts of the city, and it pretty much runs throughout the entire innards of the city itself. Does anybody have a passive history of 15 or higher?
I do.
You do? All right.
Yay.
So you do know that the catacombs is one of the points of contention between Clan Solvklig and Clan Coldstreak, as they are pretty much at odds as to exactly the role of the catacombs. If you talk to Clan Solvkling, so the one that you guys are currently representing, then it is full of the bodies of those heroic ones who had lived in to try and help out the warlord in his glorious campaign to unite the country. Coldstreak, on the other hand, it is a catacomb full of the untold thousands who lost their lives under the warlord, those civilians who have been held hostage against the Jarls of the land. So, for a 15, you are aware that the catacombs contain many dangers, namely from those souls who continue to linger on throughout the millennia since their death. The catacombs itself is very reflective of the ancient architecture of the Vaaderlund inhabitants, and you can see that a lot of intense work has been put to place here with, it looks like, even magic influencing things, as almost the entry chamber you guys come across looks almost perfectly preserved despite the pressure of time going through.
Alright. This place looks like fucking shit.
Well,
Can I look for tracks to see if the troops been through, like at least made it to here, or are there signs that they've already been here?
Yep. Hit me up with their survival. 29. Very nice. All right. So as you have a look around the room, it takes a while before you are able to actually detect any particular signs of at all, as it feels like seems to be something magical which is just constantly interfering, a magical cleaning spell specifically. But eventually you are able to find a small bag. It looks like this one containing about 3 servings of rations. It looks fairly new, and upon looking into it, you are able to ascertain that whoever owned this was here probably barely an hour ago.
That lines up with the time those guys left, didn't it?
Indeed.
I'm a bear at this point, by the way. That way I have dark vision.
Did you say bear or ferret?
Bear.
Okay.
Very different animals.
Very different. Hence why I had to check. All right.
I'm going to call my owl back from its pocket dimension and put him to work scouting a bit.
All right.
When you said that you're a bear, was that your character saying
You know what? Yeah. Yeah. Just, I'm like, guys, I'm a bear now.
All right. So, in order to get through these catacombs, those of you who are more magically sensitive, so for example Norloth and Solturum, the two of you can feel the pressure of ancient magic just bearing down at you at all times, and frankly it doesn't necessarily feel like it's overly friendly towards whatever intentions you have here. So it's going to be a bit of a tricky path going through these catacombs without running into any untold dangers. What would you like to know with your 15?
I was just going to see whether I could understand anything more about the magic that I could sense.
Yep.
As a undying warlock and a shadow sorcerer, so this is heavy necromancer kind of level, or
almost the inverse. So Solturum, it doesn't take you long before you're able to identify that the catacombs itself seems to have a fairly intense warding placed upon the outside, basically to keep in anything of a more horrifying or dire nature that might arise from this area being a portal of the dead. You are fairly impressed considering that the stability of the spell seems to have maintained the current millennia, but you are able to see that it just doesn't seem to take kindly to outsiders, as throughout the catacombs itself you can feel the warp of ancient magic which the warp of ancient magic, which seems to just push aside the physical laws of nature and rework things on occasion to its own desire. So a lot of this seems to be wild, untamed magic that you would generally be tiptoeing around.
Yeah, but I'd have a good appreciation of, given my background.
That's right.
Do I sense whether it have any impact on the spellcasting abilities at all?
With a 15, you are unsure. So it could be that if you aren't careful with your spells, you might trigger a malicious reaction from the catacombs. But so long as you are the fanciful, renowned, extremely expert characters that you are, you should be fine.
Okay. All right. I explain that to the party.
Easy enough. All right, well, gentlemen, it is currently 10:55 p.m. and we pretty much are going to be reaching the end of our session time. So would you guys like to save the catacombs for next session and go from there?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, gentlemen, it is that time again. Would you please nominate your MVP?
Not me.
Addison, for pity.
Please, that will make me feel worse.
Well, then
That's why I'm doing
pity
it.
then.
You did change into the most animals.
I vote Rivka because he gave me my magic glaive that promptly disappeared, and also his hatred for demons because we really put that on him today.
Yeah, I think role-playing wise, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, Rivka.
Alright, so that's 3 for Rithka.
Rob, you
Yeah.
voting for yourself again?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, good stuff.
No,
wanna
no,
make sure-
no, I'm not.
I'm gonna go with Rivka just because he jumped straight into my like black void thing. So
Which is what you always want from a man.
yeah,
Alright, in that case, Michael, congratulations. You are our MVP for the night. Would you like a melee table, mage table, or rogue table to roll for treasure?
Maybe rogue?
Rogue. Alright, hit me up with a 1d10. That is a 9. Alright, so this can go one of two ways. I'm fairly sure that you would probably go the way, but you have rolled the option to receive a spell from the Tome of Spells. Would you like that, or would you like to re-roll?
Okay, rogue.
That's right, you said rogue.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
I'm only a level 3 caster at the moment, is the problem. I might be boring and re-roll, sorry, Tim.
It's all good. Hit me up with the re-roll. Alright, for a 3, congratulations. You have found yourself in ownership of a new magic item. Give me a second. I can understand why I put this on the rogue table, but at the same time, I feel like I might have should probably have actually put this on the melee table. But congratulations, you are now the proud owner of Gloves of Missile Snaring. These gloves seem to almost melt into your hands when you don them. When a ranged weapon attack hits you while you're wearing them, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier, provided you have a free hand. If you reduce the damage to 0, you catch the missile if it's small enough for you to hold in that hand.
Now I got that apple, that magic apple in the loft.
Alrighty. So with that, I will draw the session to an end. Thank you to all of our intrepid listeners, and we will see you next time for our next adventure in the Awakened Fables universe. Have a good night, and we'll catch you later.